Honestly, I didn't really notice how close we are together.
Yeah, we're really paired up.
I did an episode with Tyler Buckingham where we were like right next to each other the whole time.
That's really what's
I
happening.
had to put a pillow over my lap.
Because
Is
you
your
were fully
is
erect.
your switch up? Yeah, and just
It
make
is.
sure that you talk
Directly
clearly
into the
and
microphone. Yeah.
direct.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
hammered, so that's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, that's not what's going on.
That's good, dude. Didn't you holster something to bring it up?
Oh yeah, the time I went to a wedding with a girl I'd never met. This was a bit of a fuck up. So, yeah, I don't even know. I think she just like followed me on Twitter. We had like mutual friends, and then from there, it was like a Snapchat romance, and then we exchanged phone numbers. And we,
Snapchat
like,
romance.
texted.
So you were just
Snapchat
sending
romance.
expressionless selfies to each other, and
For
then
the
being
most
like,
part.
"Fuck."
Yeah, I mean it was like 2016, so there was a lot of that going on.
Golden
But
age.
she was extremely out of my league for one.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I was pretty dumb. But anyway, she asked me to go to this wedding, and I lived in Akron, Ohio at the time, and this wedding was in Dayton. So I crossed the whole state. It's like 5 hours of driving to go to this wedding, and I meet her, and I'm so awkward because I'm like,
You've never met her in
because
person.
I've never met her in person, and she's like extremely outgoing, and I'm so strange.
You're wearing a tuxedo.
Yeah, I'm like all dressed up. So we do this whole wedding thing. Also, her brother's there. She tells me that her brother is a male prostitute.
Perfect.
Yeah, so he was extremely rad. He was also very strange. But anyway,
Rad but
we
strange.
we go to this wedding. I proceed to black out on the open bar. And it was like so humiliating because I remember we got on a bus to like get back to the hotel, and they were all smoking weed on the bus. And I remember being like, "They're gonna kick us off the bus," and I was like being real shitty about it. And she told me in the morning because I was like, "Were you guys smoking on that bus?" And she was like, "Yeah, you were not cool about it at all." I
That's
was
so
like,
embarrassing.
"Oh god, this is humiliating." Yeah, but I tried to play it cool, and then we went separate ways. And then I got invited to a wedding. I was like, "Do you want to go to this wedding with me?" I tried to be cool and be like, "Well, I feel like I owe you an
Yeah.
open bar, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." And then just like slowly and surely over the next couple of weeks, I just got completely ghosted until she was like, "Well, I'm flying out to Europe tomorrow now." So I was like, "Cool lie, cool,
Yeah.
cool lie." So yeah, that
Probably
was
for the best.
it was a tough time to be me. It was
Yeah.
cool though.
Did you was she introducing you to people?
Yeah, I met her whole family.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was her first cousin getting married. I met her grandma, her mom and dad,
So they were all like,
brother.
this
Stayed in a
is-
hotel room with the brother.
This is her guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I remember at one point there was like a pre-wedding thing, and they were like, she was like, if anybody asks how we met, just say that like we have mutual friends, because she like didn't want to admit that we just met on the internet.
Yeah.
That is a weird thing to do.
You met on the internet?
Pretty much, yeah. She just liked my tweets a lot. There was a time in the in the mid
It's a
2010s,
meritocracy.
yeah, when liking tweets could lead to a lot more.
That's pretty impressive, honestly. You converted so far to then not convert anything.
Oh yeah, it was a complete airball from the moment I showed up, dude. I remember we had like jokingly, I like exchanged an email address with her, and she like emailed, and then she tried to do a callback to an email she had sent me,
Uh-huh.
and we were sitting in the back of a car, and I just looked at her like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, that's
And she was like, "Remember from the email?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, no clue." And then like
And
an
she
hour
could
later,
tell.
I was like, "Fuck yeah,
She could
absolutely."
tell.
No, she knew the whole time. It was humiliating.
Dude, that's the worst.
Yeah.
When someone says something that's a reference or just a callback and you have to be like, yeah, for sure. And but
Completely
they
flunked.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
they know.
Yeah.
They know every time. You just reminded me that when I was in first grade, or no, when I was in 5th grade.
Oh, this is gonna kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in 5th grade, we had like it was called First Class. It was like an email server that was just confined to our school. So all the kids were on it. We had like message boards and stuff on
Yeah.
it. It was like going first class, and then people were like, "Lacrosse is cool," and they're like, "Lacrosse is gay." But so we're in 5th grade, and so I had one of my classmates' email address, and there was a girl named Mary Buck who I had had a crush on since kindergarten, and I was like, I'm gonna wake up every morning at 8 a.m. before school.
No.
And I'm gonna first class this
No.
girl. So I would literally just wake up every morning and be like, fight for the family desktop and be like, I have to make some emails right now.
Before the bus comes,
Dude,
it's 7.
legitimately, that was exactly what I did. So yeah, it was earlier than 8 a.m. I would wake up early and just like email this girl, and she was, in hindsight, she was just like. I then found out that I like thought that it was like this secret communication that we'd been having, like where it's like Romeo and Juliet. And then I found out like 10 years later that she had told like the entire class.
That you were a weirdo.
Like
Dude,
there was like a
whack.
subset of girls who stayed during lunch to like read extra with the teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And like every single one was like, yeah, Harry Meredith has been. Dude, to tell her that I had a crush on her, I drew a picture of Snoopy, and then I was like, I just had a picture of Snoopy, and I was like, what do I do with this? And so I flipped it over, and I was like, Dear Mary,
Right.
I have a crush on you. P.S. Please don't tell. From Harry. And
Please don't
I
tell.
looked at my best friend Max at the time, and I was like, should I give this to her? And he goes, absolutely not.
You
So-
drew the hand-drawn
Yeah.
picture of Snoopy.
It was a good picture, to be fair.
I mean, that's romance.
And then I give her the picture, and I'm like there's no way she's gonna tell anybody. And I later find out she like goes on the bus and she like held it up and she was like,
Yeah.
Harry Meredith. Fucking,
No, yeah.
what a fucking loser.
She full-on mean girled you.
Yeah,
That is brutal.
so fucked up.
Did you ever have like MSN Messenger, like Yahoo or anything like
No.
that? Oh yeah.
That was before my time.
I had Extreme Game on MSN Messenger, and then I would go to school and just like not look at a single girl.
It's actually like more fucked up to hook up, well, not hook up, but like to like when you bond with someone virtually and then you meet them, there's then the expectation that it's just going to be the same exact thing,
Right.
and it's just like it never will be.
Which is why I bombed at that wedding.
You got bombed.
Yeah. Yeah, both of those things are true.
There's a video on YouTube, and it's like one of the cringiest videos I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's this like 14-year-old Asian kid who's like maybe like 5'8", and he's talking to this girl who's a blonde. She's like 5'10", 5'11",
Athletic build.
athletic build,
Yeah, that's fair. That's for
sinewy,
sure. Yeah.
and
All right.
and
Okay.
sorry, and yeah, I forgot her age. Whatever. By the way, I signed up for this. I'll circle back, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
signed up for this new app called like Vocab, and it
Okay.
just like sends you vocab words throughout the day to increase your
So you can like
just like flex on people.
talk about underage girls without
And
people
yeah,
realizing they're
exactly.
actually underage.
And the words that I get are just like really retarded. Like it gave me secretive today, and I was like, who doesn't know secretive?
yeah.
Anyway, so this Asian kid and this blonde girl, they have like this whole internet romance, just like you and this other girl. And it's like to the point where they're like FaceTiming each other and they're like saying like I love you already. And then it just so happens that her family is like in his state. So she's like, I'll make a detour and we can rendezvous.
Yeah.
So they choose like an elementary school, and he's like, this is such a cool moment that I'm meeting the love of my life, that he has his friend record the meeting.
Mm.
And she gets out of the car. They're at his school. they're like out front at a middle
It's just
school.
recess.
It's literally like it's like a Saturday, so there's nobody
Okay.
there. But like they're out front at a school.
That'd be great if it was like third period. He was like,
Yeah, he's like
Let me get
after
the hall
history
pass,
class.
yeah.
Yeah. But so she gets out of the car, and immediately you're like, there's a height discrepancy.
yeah.
So she gets out of the car and she's walking toward him, and he runs up to her, and he like he tries to like jump onto her and hug her, but he cancels it halfway through, so he like kind of knees her in the
Mm.
chest, and he doesn't he like kind of like grabs onto her and then slides off. And then past that, it's just like the most awkward thing you've ever seen in your entire life. And then at one point, they're like sitting in a classroom, and she just goes like, "Yeah, I mean, like, I did think
They got into the school.
yeah.
Why are
Well, it
they
was
in
the good old days
school?
when the school was just unlocked.
Yeah, that's true.
But at one point, she just goes, "Yeah, like I did think you'd be taller." And
Oh,
he's
dude.
just devastated.
That reminds me, when I went to that wedding with that girl, she like called me, and I answered the phone, and she said, "I didn't think that's what your voice would sound like." And I was like, "Oh,
Ooh, not a
ate it."
good sign.
Yeah, ate it right out of the jump.
That's so fucked.
Yeah, that shit was. I don't know why I did that to myself. That whole experience.
You
I don't know,
tried.
it was fun. It
You
was
tried,
fun. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I got blacked out for free at a wedding. Embarrassed myself,
It's my dream.
but you know,
I've still never been to a wedding, and I had the
in your
opportunity.
life,
I've never. I've been to a million funerals.
you can come to mine. Yeah,
Please, please,
both,
dude.
both,
Yeah. That'd be sick to double up on the Cody Ciminillo.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
One week I went to his wedding.
Yeah.
And then
The next week,
yeah.
yeah.
And then he hanged himself.
Yeah.
And yes, it is hanged. It's not
Yeah,
hung.
no, that's true.
Yeah.
I had a friend who worked in. She was like, she was a music therapist, but specifically for people who were like dying. And she told me one time, it was like, you shouldn't say that someone committed suicide. You should say that they killed themselves.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
She was, I don't know.
What's the logic?
I guess I don't remember the explanation, but I remember specifically she said, like, people don't commit suicide, they kill themselves. And that's what you need to say. You need to, like, normalize the language, I guess. I don't know.
To me, it's like killing yourself is so much more brutal.
I think that's
You're
the
saying-
point.
She's
like,
saying you're like, you
that's-
shouldn't
yeah, like-
diminish what's happened?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
I guess feel their hurt.
I mean, it would be.
I don't know.
Yeah. By that logic, you should just specify how they killed themselves. What
Right?
happened?
Hanged himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
What happened to your uncle? He fucking blew his brains out.
Yeah, he hanged himself. He blew his brains out.
There was
He left
this.
the car running inside.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
never-
1986. You could still die that way.
Yeah.
Because you can't die like that anymore, I think.
The car?
Yeah.
No, you can. You can put a tennis
Can?
ball in the exhaust pipe.
Oh, see, you thought ahead.
I googled it.
You've considered it.
Dude, I really was on. When I was 13,
I was
14,
not doing well.
I was googling how to kill yourself. I knew I had a whole plan.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I remember there were these
Because of the first class situation.
Yeah, it was 'cause of the-
the
it was-
Snoopy drawing.
ripples from the first class, and I remember.
Also, that's insane that the school just had like a Reddit
No, it is.
thread for you guys
It really is.
to hop on every
It was
morning.
it was really good though, like an introductory to the internet though.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it was really smart.
Like this shit is on here.
Yeah.
Everyone can see it.
And you sort of got like a dose of like what like cyberbullying was, because
Mhm.
some kids would. I
Did some
remember
kids get bullied on there. That is so brutal.
I remember this
That
one
is
kid.
crazy.
Shout out Jacob Dakota. His name looks like Descatow, so everybody would say like Jacob
Okay.
Descoto.
Uh.
He's a cool guy. But I remember. I don't know why I remember this, but I remember like there was like a food thread, and somebody was just like, bacon. Subject bacon.
Yeah.
I love bacon. And
Sure.
like 40 kids were like, fucking love bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon's-
big upvotes.
Bacon's
a lot
the
of karma.
best, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's on board with bacon. And then he writes, I love bacon, even the fat. And then everybody was like, ew, dude. I just remember everybody was like, they immediately changed their tune to be like, not that much, man.
Well, that is where the flavor is.
I
in
know.
bacon, though.
See,
so
that's the thing is like he was
kind
right.
of the man. Yeah.
He is the man.
Yeah.
But I
He
remember
probably just like
I
watched.
watched all
a
these people
good
take
cooking
that
show.
opportunity to just be like, "You're a fucking pussy." They didn't say
Kill
that, but they're
yourself.
like they're like 11-year-olds, and they're all like, "Ew, dude," and they like I mean, if I was him, I would have been like, "This sucks."
Yeah. No, I'd have been heartbroken.
Yeah, but when I was 13, I was like, I was like, "I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna commit, and I'm gonna kill myself." And
That is
I
a
remember-
sad thing to hear.
It is sad, yeah. But there was this one night where I like really was like, my mom had like she lived in a it used to be an aircraft hangar, which is hard to even
What?
explain.
Yeah.
But so she lived on this. It was like rural New Jersey. Like my
Okay.
parents got divorced. She was in Ringo's, New Jersey, which is it's literally just all farms. Yeah. And so this used to be a landing strip. So it was just like a fucking mile long of all grass, and there's meadows, and like there's a horse fucking thing next to it. And she was in a converted aircraft hangar. So we're
That's
on like the
insane.
3rd floor of this. It's like 100 steps to get up there. All these shitty quirks that like the AC doesn't work, like all this stuff
Yeah.
because it's like converted. But I would like go out onto the ledge, and I'd be like, I could just end
leave.
it right now.
Yeah.
And I was in this group chat with my two friends, Nick Navarro and Max Brass, and I remember I was just saying like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like really gonna do it tonight. And I remember one of my friends, Nick, was like so concerned, and he was like, "I'm like really worried about Harry." And then my other friend, Max,
Good
was
friend.
like, "No, it was the other way." Max was like, "I'm really worried about Harry," and then Nick was like, "No, dude, he's just being a fucking bitch." And I remember
Damn.
him like fucking with me. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna kill
Yeah,
myself, dude. That'd be so
I
gay if
don't
I killed
wanna yet.
myself." And then I remember because I like really I was like crying while like texting in that group chat, and then I went to school the next day, and
Crying not from laughter, from depression.
no, just depression. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go to school the next
Suicidal
day,
thoughts.
and I'm just like, I'm just gonna pretend like nothing happened. And I go in, and Max is like, are you okay, dude? And Nick is like, dude, he was just being a bitch. And I was like, Max, you're such a bitch for caring about me,
Yeah.
bro. I just completely flipped
You're
on him.
being an asshole.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you're such a pussy for thinking I was gonna
In
kill myself.
hindsight, he probably had like similar feelings and was like going through a tough
No,
time. So he like
definitely,
tried
yeah.
to support you, and
Yeah.
then you turned on him. You fucking turncoat.
Yeah, I had this friend in college
Benedict
named
Arnold.
Dan Keys, and he was like, he's like
You
super
love dropping the full government.
Oh, I'm
name.
gonna drop the full name.
Yeah.
Nobody listens. My viewership's
Well,
dropped
hopefully
the fuck
Dan
off.
Keys does. It sounds like
yeah,
he's about to get
I'll
respected.
shoot Dan Keys.
Yeah.
Dan Keys is he sounds like Squidward, and he kind of looks like Squidward. No offense, Dan,
It's kind.
but
it's kinda
he
hard.
pulls,
Yeah.
and he's one of those guys who
Handsome
just like
Squidward.
no matter what opinion you have, he just vehemently disagrees with it, and you're like, God damn it, dude.
Devil's advocate.
He is.
He's a
He loves
lifelong devil's
advocating for the devil.
Advocating for
But
the devil.
One of the things he did is if anybody ever said they're gonna kill themselves, he went, "Do it then."
Oh,
Fucking
Jesus
do it.
Christ.
Yeah. And I remember somebody said it, and he was like, "Fucking do it then." And then they were like, "Well, I'm not." Like they got flustered, and he was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. If you're not gonna do it, don't say it." And the guy just didn't kill himself.
Oh my God.
But Mark
So,
Norman has
like,
a joke about this. He's
the
like, "It's
guy-
a crazy bluff.
It's wild.
You're
Yeah.
just gonna tell me to kill myself?"
But then that goes wrong one time, and
That's
he's
what
a
I'm saying.
lifelong piece of shit.
Yeah, but I
And he might
honestly-
kill himself out
I
of
think he could shrug it off. I think Dan Keys could shrug it off.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do. Although I would never tell somebody that.
No, I would not.
That's wild behavior.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the guy clearly is right.
No, he is right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of the people who say they're going to kill themselves, they don't have the balls.
But there's also a fine line between telling people how it is and just being a piece of shit.
correct.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a middle ground, I
yeah.
guess, where you could be.
And that's the beginning, middle, and end of my point at that. But I'm just
Supportive.
saying, like, we should all watch
Yeah.
the lines we toe when it comes to being a complete prick. You were talking about twins earlier. You're a twin, right?
I am a twin.
Were there a lot of twins at your school?
Yeah, there were a lot.
Really?
There were so many twins at my school that we took a yearbook photo of all the
Yeah?
twins. Yeah.
So there were like a wild number of twins in my graduating class. There was
Is
like
that were
probably
their parents?
8 of 'em.
8? Yeah, I think that was about what we
Yeah.
had.
making that number up?
Apparently,
I
if
figured
you
out.
have like older parents, the older you are when you have
I
the
have
kids,
heard that, yeah.
the chance it increases. Because my mom was like 40 when she had us,
Yeah.
and I think most of the people in my area were similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
A lot of people think there's just like so much novelty to being born at the same time, and
Mhm.
it's really disappointing to people.
Yeah, it probably kind of sucks.
I mean, having a twin was pretty sick for me because I just had a partner in crime no matter what.
That is
Like,
the,
dude.
that is the massive upside.
That is so
That
like
is-
my grandparents. I have this weird arc in my life where my grandparents came from nothing.
Yeah.
They came from fucking nothing. My grandmother was like the first woman to graduate from Penn Law School. Incredible.
that's baller. That's a
My grandfather was
get
the
that
DA.
tattooed. No
yeah,
way.
so like they're like a power couple, and then they had like all these daughters who were killing it, or now dead, unfortunately, rip. But
RIP.
the family's cursed. My dad's side is cursed, and he's dead, so he was cursed as well.
Cursed.
So he was like the second youngest, but he was like the baby boy of the family, the only boy. But so I grew up going to country clubs and shit. I was like, this is what life
That's
is
why
like.
you like country clubs.
And then
yeah.
both of my grandparents died, and completely
Gone.
like
Just
gone.
gone. Yeah.
And then my dad, I like watched my dad like literally lose his mind, lose his house to the bank. Shit just goes completely south.
Yeah.
So I had like a taste of both lives. Where the fuck was I going with this?
I don't remember.
remember.
Yeah.
Grandparents, shit.
Twins.
Twins. Okay, so those grandparents, they had like really great property where my dad grew up. So he was always like clinging to that idea of like, this is like wealth. This is what
Yeah.
like a great property is. And but I got to grow up on that. So and for a little bit, our bus just dropped us off at our grandmom's house, and they had like tons of pastures and acres and stuff. They had like a full
That's extremely
greenhouse and
cool.
a barn.
This is like classic East Coast old money.
So that's the other thing is like
Although they would be new money.
no,
because
they were
just
old
got
money,
it.
but they acted like old money.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, they knew what it was. I don't respect new money now, which is funny because I have no money.
You don't
but, like,
respect like
I
tech money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
like Silicon Valley people, and I'm like I'm poor,
Those dudes are dorks.
but I'm like, dude, you don't know. You have no idea what real wealth is.
Yeah.
You know what real wealth is?
East
At
Coast.
Beatonsbrook,
Yeah.
East Coast, there was a family they drove a Land Rover, and they would just leave it idling the entire time they were swimming because they didn't want the car to get hot.
No
So they would
shit.
just leave the car fucking idling, a Land
That-
Rover, because the cars next to it are a Porsche and a Beamer,
Yeah.
a Mercedes. No one's gonna fucking steal that. And I remember we would pull in to go to the pool, and there'd just be a Land Rover idling.
You should have stole it.
We should have, dude.
You should have at least taken it around. They wouldn't have noticed.
No, but they were just got a new one.
Nah, I wouldn't have done that
But
either. I was a huge pussy.
For my I think it was my seventh birthday, maybe
Yeah.
sixth birthday, seventh birthday, we got a Gator, which is like a ride on.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like a ride on like little
like
tractor
the
thing.
two-seater thing. Yeah,
It had like the dump thing that you could.
yeah those
empty
are
out,
a
and
blast.
So we had that at my grandmom's house, and they were like, "Yeah, do whatever you want." Like literally just drive around. So me and my brother are just powwowing around.
Just
Top
ripping.
speed's like 5 miles an hour, but to us that's
yeah,
like
that's huge.
we would like have one kid run next to it, and then like Mission Impossible dive back onto it.
Oh, that's so fun.
So yeah, exactly. I just had a partner in crime to do no matter what I wanted to do, except for fucking sports. But so we had that Gator, and I
I
remember.
don't know what is behind that,
Well, I'll get to that.
but we'll blow through.
But today I realized what I could have had, but no comment. But anyway, so we had this Gator, and I remember one time we're like riding it around the pastures or whatever, going in this big loop, and my grandmother comes out, and she's like, "You see all those geese, like that flock of geese that like keeps like
Yeah.
crapping all over the lawn?" And she gives us each a golf club, and she's like, "End them." So like one of us was driving the Gator, and the other was just swinging a golf club at geese.
You guys,
And my grandmother was like, "You're my little boys. I love you so much."
it's like an interspecial, like Vietnam.
It really
You
was.
guys
Dude, we
were
went to war
at
with the
least
geese.
for the geese. Yeah.
And we're little kids. We have no idea that they're like living creatures.
Yeah.
so
No, you're having
so
a
we're just
fucking
like,
blast.
yeah, we're just gonna go in and be like, "Grandma, we broke 2 necks."
Yeah. That's something. So you've experienced something that a lot of people think is like, could I just break a goose's neck?
Oh yeah.
And
dude.
you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the answer to that.
7-year-old with a determination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine said he got in a fist fight with a goose one time, and he went for that. He was like, I could just break its neck.
Yeah.
But the thing you don't think about is a goose will fly like hundreds of miles at a time.
True.
So their pecs are just like loaded.
Oh yeah.
So they'll just smack you upside the head with their wings, I guess.
He got winged?
Yeah, he got winged.
No
He-
fucking way.
He did not kill the goose.
So he was trying to kill a goose and he could not do it.
Yeah, I believe the moral of the story was that he lost because of the strength of the pectoral muscles of the
He's
goose.
like, dude, you don't
of the
understand
Canadian goose.
the pecs of these guys.
Yeah, which is funny. That is the point of the story. It's like these things, fucking, they bench.
Dude, they're jacked.
Yeah, they're jacked.
Yeah, I
no
guess
one
that-
talks about how
they're just doing
jacked the
flies
geese
the
are, yeah.
entire time.
All
Is that why
day.
it's called a fly?
Could be. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Isn't it fun just realizing how fucking stupid you are? Like
Oh,
we
it
just found
happens
out what a
constantly,
fly
yeah.
is. It's because he looks like you're flying.
I remember literally the day I remember, like I was sitting on the toilet when I was like 16 years old,
Yeah.
and my sister outside the bathroom, she goes, "Holy shit!" And I go, "What, Allie?" And she goes, "Goldilocks. She's got golden locks of hair." And I'm on the toilet, and I go, "Holy fuck!" Like we both.
I guess I never really thought
we
about
both
it
were just
either.
idiots. We were both
Yeah.
like, "No way."
Get out
That's
of
why
town.
she's called Goldilocks.
I was just talking today about something you felt really dumb when you mispronounced.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have one actually, but I remember one time I was at my buddy's house, and he was like way cooler than me in school.
Yeah.
But something came on TV, and he was like, "Who's Notorious Big?" And I was like, "Notorious," and his like cool older brother was like, "The fuck?" And I was like, "Notorious B.I.G." So that was huge for me. I looked cool in front of a high schooler when I was in like
Yeah.
the 6th grade.
Dude, I mean, when you're in sixth
That's
grade
that's a huge
and a
move, by
high
the way.
schooler
Yeah.
thinks you're cool, I just remember thinking like the hierarchy was it was just so set in stone.
It's so crazy.
I was like a
to think.
senior in high school.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
And do you remember being?
And then you're a senior in high school and you do think you're that cool,
I never.
but then you're like 19 and you're either working or like in college and realize you're a fucking moron.
Yeah, you're like,
like
they
a
get to
loser.
drive. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
like what? Yeah. You never thought you were cool
No,
in
no.
high school at all?
I never felt my when I was a senior in college, especially. I was like a captain of my lacrosse team, and there were freshmen that could just like bench twice as much as me, and I was like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really don't feel like I have any tangible authority over you. You could beat the fucking
That
shit
is
out
hard.
of me.
Were you like giving rah-rah speeches at halftime and shit?
I got injured my senior year, so no. But
Okay.
I
So that
remember
was
a couple times.
That was a pity C on your
That
jersey.
was. It was sad. I
That
didn't
is
even
a
get the
bummer,
C
dude.
card.
That's like
They'd be like, "Do you want to go out for the coin toss?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." But I do remember like after a couple of like weightlifting sessions, I would like try to give a speech, and it was one of those moments where you're like, "I'm not a speech guy."
No, yeah, I could never do.
I'd
There's
try to
no
rile the
way.
boys up, and then I'd sort of like stutter, and like you really got to just ride the wave. And if you fall
Yeah.
off the surfboard, people are like, "What did you just say?"
Dude. Yeah.
If you give a speech gone wrong, that's worse than bombing stand up, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Because
It's
stand up,
way
you're not trying to
worse.
motivate people.
No, yeah.
When you're trying to motivate people and you fuck up and they're like, "Oh god," and then you have to be like, "All right, break it down on 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh
Dude.
god.
I played 7th grade football
Uh huh.
and we were playing the team of the school that I had previously been to in the 6th grade.
Big time.
And they were like, "Simi, go up there and give him a little speech."
rile the boys up.
Yeah. And they all laughed at me. and I still think about it. They like thought it was funny. And I was like, I'm gonna kill myself.
And you went up and you were like, "Great moments."
Yeah, yeah. I was like, all right, boys, let's bring it in. Just ate a bag of dicks
But
in front of my peers.
what's so fucked up? Your teammates, your family,
I know.
the guys you're going to war with.
Going to war in the 7th grade. Yeah, it was humiliating. I remember that. So yeah, I would rather bomb a trillion times
Yeah.
with my shitty jokes
they
than
don't
go
know
back
you, yeah.
and relive that moment once
that's
because that
way
was like,
worse.
because I know at least one other guy who I was on that team with remembers that and was like, "What the hell was Cody talking about?" He's a fucking
Yeah, it's like
idiot.
you're a kid too. You don't know what
Right,
the
he's
fuck you're
also,
talking about.
like,
You don't know what you're fighting for.
right. He's playing a nothing position, doing nothing over there. Why do they have him
Guys are
doing this?
long snappers giving a speech.
Yeah, guys, get over here. Get over here. The dude who doesn't play is going to tell us what to do.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
horrible.
That was going on. So that was humiliating.
Yeah.
And I still think about it. I'm 32 years old. And I was 12. I don't know. How old are you then?
A lot of humiliating shit happened.
I'm 31 years old, by the way. I don't know why I said 32.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't know. I'm an
I
idiot.
forget how old I am constantly.
It happens. It just
Yeah,
happened to me.
people will ask how old I am, and I'm like, fuck it. You know what's crazy is my mom. It's not crazy, but so I was born in 2000,
Oh, that is
which
bananas.
used to blow people's balls off. Now that people are younger, it's like it's not that big of a deal. But
Yeah,
telling
no.
people you were born in 2000, they're like, no way.
Yeah.
You're so young. But now it's not really that bad. But I remember my mom used to always be like, you're so lucky because no matter what age you are, you can just remember the year you were
Right.
born.
That's easy.
And then I watched my grandmother lose her mind. And I was like, so that means nothing.
You watched her.
I watched my grandmother with dementia. They would ask her a set of questions every day. And like one of them was just like, what year is it? And
Yeah.
obviously when she's doing it in the beginning, she's razor sharp. She's like, obviously it's 2017.
Right.
Fucking Tuesday, July 3rd. And then by the end of it, they're like, what year is it? And she'd be like, 84?
Yeah.
And you'd
That's
be like,
so sad.
and you'd be
though.
like, dude, she forgot my mom's name.
Yeah.
The final question, which is so fucked that they kept doing it, but the final question, they'd point to my mom and they'd be like, who is she? And my grandmother would be like, I know who she is. And they'd be like, who is
Yeah.
she? And they'd be like, obviously I know who she is. And they'd be like, say her name. And then she'd be like, fuck you. Like, she'd be like, shut the fuck up.
It's funny how that is like the saddest thing in the world, but also that exact conversation would happen just at like a Super Bowl party.
It would.
We'd be like, well, then you've been talking to me all night. What's my name?
Mm,
Like, of course we talked.
yeah.
I know who you are.
I've never had that situation with it. Like my roommate, I remember came back from the bars one time, and then my other friend told me that he was hitting on a girl all night, And then like right when he was like, "You want to come to back to my place?" She was like, "What's my name?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"I'll see you later."
I've seen that happen myself, and
That's
it's just
brutal.
like, whoa. Yeah, that sucks for your boy, but also you're like cheering on the girl. Like
Oh,
that
totally.
fucking
It's like, yeah,
rocks.
good for
Yeah.
you. He didn't fucking give a shit
No,
about
you're
you.
you're the shit for that. I want to chase you
Yeah.
down now because you're the coolest because you called him out for being an
Yeah.
idiot.
But also, it's because I feel like I would be the girl in that situation.
You'd
You
be
know?
like, "What's my name?"
Almost every situation where like people
You
are
can't
talking
treat
about
me like a piece of meat.
exactly.
Sarah.
I'm more than that, Sarah. I know your full legal name.
Yeah.
Any situation where like people are talking about a relationship where there's like a dispute between the man and the woman, almost inevitably every single time I am the woman in that dynamic.
Okay.
So I relate to a lot of women when they're talking about like I'm always
This is gonna get you pussy. Keep going.
No, women are not attracted to this. That's the problem. Is like, and I think this is like partly because like I grew up watching The Bachelor with my mom. I had Cosmopolitan next to my
Yeah.
toilet. It's like I have like this feminine
You know
air
the
about
girls
me,
too well.
and women do not like it.
Yeah.
They don't like it at all. They don't.
You're
They
just a f-
appreciate it from
yeah.
afar or
You're a
like
cool
platonically.
friend. Yeah.
But as soon as it comes time to get like romantic, and you're like, I remember Juan Pablo's season of The Bachelor. They're like,
Yikes.
maybe not. Yeah, and I get like
Maybe
really
this isn't for me.
I get really
buddy.
sensitive about things.
Yeah.
I don't even think being in touch with your emotions is good.
In what way?
Being able to like
Wall it off?
articulate how you feel about like most of the time, and I understand this because it's like when people are upset about things and you ask them why they're upset, anytime they give me an actual answer, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. So I kind of get it when I like,
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
I guess I hate hearing other people's concerns about themselves and in the world.
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's nice.
No,
but I
yeah.
do. Now I'm being now I'm
I
being
guess
an
it's case
asshole.
to case.
But
I
yeah,
guess
it's a case to case
yeah.
basis. Because there are people who are just bitching.
I mean, there's some people who are in Australia. They call it whinging.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
that's a funny thing
Yeah.
to say.
So they'll just we were in like this Uber, and the driver was just whinging to the guy that we were staying with, this shipwright, the entire time. And he gets out of the car and he goes, "Yeah, the fucking guy just kept whinging the whole fucking time." He's like, "Oh, I didn't think he'd
That's a
just
good
stop
accent.
whinging."
Yeah,
Yeah,
you killed that.
yeah.
Australia seems like the coolest place to be,
It is.
but also kind of scary.
It's not. It's not. Well, so I went there.
Gonna
So the
fall off
guy
the
I was
earth upside
staying
down.
with. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The toilet goes the other way.
Yeah.
So the guy I was staying with.
Does it legit though?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
So the guy was. Now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know. So the guy I was staying with. So we stayed in the city.
Which
I have
one?
a whole Australia, Brisbane.
Okay.
My brother's currently in Australia.
That rocks.
My brother lives in Australia. He just
Doing what?
graduated college in Australia.
Chilling,
Industrial design. He's welding.
dude.
We can't get into this,
That's
man.
fine.
It's so much.
That's
But
fine.
I
Good-
went
He's
to
got
Australia
a
recently.
profitable skill. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
That's-
sailed
that
the
fucking
Great
rocks.
Barrier Reef, got naked. But
right.
yeah. So this guy that we stayed with, this master shipwright that's like that met my mom in college. They rekindled. My dad died. Fucking.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's a tale as old as time.
it's a tale as old as
Yeah.
time. We're staying at his place. It is literally a cinder block shack in the jungle. Like you're taking a dirt road to get to his place, and then the actual driveway is like a 45-degree angle to get up it. Like a
Yeah.
taxi refuses to go up his driveway.
I would too.
So you go up, and then he leaves all of his doors open. He leaves all of his windows open. There are taipans, which is like a poison. It's like the most poisonous snake that they have.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, if it comes in, just like get it out. Like he's like so calm about
Tell it to go.
They have a frog that just lives in the toilet.
What?
And so you wake up to the sound of a frog croaking and it being amplified by the fucking
Yeah.
toilet. And then I remember I went to bed because we were staying with his daughter in Brisbane, and that was kind of like there was a semblance of like civilization.
Uh-huh.
I remember there was like a spider this big in my shoe, and I was like, okay, well, like fuck that.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
But then so we go to his place, and you're in Jurassic Park. Like
That's
the clouds
nuts.
are level with this
I didn't
house.
realize they had this
They
down
do.
there. I thought it was just
It's crazy.
the outback.
No, the
Yeah.
outback's the middle. They've got the fucking jungle and shit.
Dude, why are you so good at this?
I just constantly talk to myself in
Yeah,
accents.
that makes sense.
Right. He calls me
Right.
Has. So we're in
Has?
his place. Yeah, Has.
That's hard.
And he leaves all the windows open, all the doors open, and like everything that you see, and he had a dog named Buster Boy,
Mm-hmm.
and every single thing that you see, you're like, this could be a snake, this could be a spider, this could be a fucking anything. And then I remember I went to bed one night. The first night I was like, I'm not taking off my shoes. 2 nights in, I'm walking around barefoot. I'm pissing outside. He was
Really?
like, if you have to go to the bathroom, don't waste our water, because he has a limited supply of water. If you turn on the sink for
Oh.
more than 10 seconds, he's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And then so,
How does he wash dishes or something like that?
I mean, this guy
Bathe?
barely.
Yeah.
He literally lives.
He lives in the jungle.
This
I
is
get
a
it,
guy.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a master shipwright. He's literally said, he's like, when I die, I'm gonna take a boat and I'm just gonna go out and I'm just gonna sail and I'm just gonna die in the sea.
When he decides
where I
that
belong.
that's how he's gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, because he grew up a lighthouse keeper. He would swim with sharks when he was a kid. It's a bunch of, it's fucking ridiculous. So
Yeah. This is a movie.
it really fucking is.
Yeah.
And I somehow got inserted
This is
into
like
the movie.
like a Wes Anderson
It
film.
is, but it's sloppier.
Of course, yeah.
And
Australians get some drunk.
no, they get fucking obliterated, dude.
Foster's.
They're so fun though.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome.
And also, what's cool about that is that I remember I was there and I said the word retarded, and they were like, "Why would we care if you said retarded?" That's like not even a bad word.
It's like saying cunt.
Yeah, and then someone said spaz, and they were like, "Why would they, buddy?" We don't say that here. And I was like,
Dude.
and it really put into perspective for me. I was like, so like words don't matter. It's just like where
yeah,
you
it's just
are.
where you're at when
It's
you
just
say
all
it, I
context.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said spaz, and they're like, settle down there, fella. I said retarded, and they're like, yeah, everything's retarded. Like they don't give a fuck. It's just like it's so arbitrary.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah. What was that? Oh, but
Huh.
there was this one. So first couple of days, I was like, I'm not taking my shoes off. And then like the third day in, you're barefoot, you're pissing outside.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck. I remember I went to bed one night and I just like looked on my wall and I had 2 geckos, a huge spider,
Oh, that's
and
terrible.
then like 3 other giant bugs on the wall. And I just was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna go to bed now.
Yeah.
Just turned it off and went to bed. And you're fine.
Sure.
But as soon as you're removed from that and you're put into like Chicago and you
Yeah.
go back to that, you're like, okay, this is a lot.
Yeah, they're just crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I don't want to sleep in a room with that many other living things, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
It's unsettling.
No, it's terrifying.
Yeah. We had a mouse infestation in college and you could hear them scratching in the walls. And we had hollow walls. They lived in the wall behind my headboard.
Ugh.
And so at night I would hear them scratching. And I just remember feeling so unbelievably unsettled by it.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And I was like, I know that I could kill these animals if I came face to face with them.
yeah.
But just knowing that a living creature is this close to me and doesn't give a shit if I hear them
Yeah.
just irked me so much.
And I don't know. I see a gecko, and that's kind of gross. But
Yeah.
I'm not imagining that gecko is carrying any sort of disease.
No. Yeah, that's different. Yeah. A gecko's not going to give you the bubonic plague.
Right. I'm not going to get the plague from a gecko.
It'd be so
I
lame
could
if
I
you
could
did.
catch some death from a spider, I guess.
Yeah.
Depending on the breed. Is that what they call those?
My mom told me this story of like being in Australia and she was like a spider fell from the ceiling onto her bed sheets while she was in bed and she said I felt the weight of it.
Oh, that's wild.
And I just
Those are
I'll
not supposed to be
never-
heavy.
I'll never forget her saying, I felt the weight of a spider fall onto my chest. And it's like, you shouldn't be able to discern that there's a spider on your chest.
No, not at
No.
all. That should just happen to you,
Yeah.
and no one should know.
You shouldn't register at all. You should
No.
be like, oh shit, there's a spider. But she was like, what's on my chest? Giant fucking spider.
Like an arachnid.
Yeah. And then I brought that up to her because she told me that and I like couldn't sleep at night. She was like, I never said that. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, dude.
That's one of those things. You say something and you forget about it, but it like impacts someone's life forever,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa, vis-a-vis. So, yeah, I don't know.
You ever say dumb shit and then think it means nothing and then like a long time after that someone will quote you on it and you'll be like, I had no idea you were
I'm-
listening to
yeah.
anything I said.
I'm positive that's happened to me, though I don't recall any instances.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That happened to a lot of kids that I would coach in lacrosse
Yeah.
where I would say stuff and just think they weren't
Oh,
listening
I could
to
totally
me.
see that. Yeah.
And
And like you called me a piece of shit.
oh yeah, no, seriously, dude.
Confirmed.
They'd be like, you said this about me and I'll never forget it. And I was like, that was like an offhanded comment
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about and you just locked onto it.
Yeah.
Shit. I threatened a kid's life one time.
That's kind of rad.
I didn't threaten his life.
No, you should have.
He hit my goalie, and I went up to him, and I was like, "These are 10-year-olds,
Yeah, yeah.
9 and 10-year-olds," and
So intensity is at a 12.
you forget
Yeah.
you forget that you're like what we were saying about like seeing a high school senior and being like that's like a god.
Yeah,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
a cool guy.
So I'm graduated college. I'm like a full adult to these people. They have no idea I'm just doing open mics.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just farming their kids for material.
Yeah, exactly. So this kid hit my goalie while we're warming up. He's just like in another line. He just throws a ball and hits my goalie. My goalie starts crying because he's a fucking 10-year-old.
Right, he's 10.
And I march over to this kid. He's half my height. I look into his face mask and I go, "If you ever hit one of my goalies ever again, I'm gonna hit you twice as hard, and that's a promise."
Yeah.
And then he just goes, "Okay." And I walk back to my goalies, and they're all like, "What'd you say, Coach Harry? What'd you say?" And I tell them, and they're like cheering, and
Yeah,
we're
of
going
course,
crazy.
because you're
We're
the
like,
coolest for that.
"Goalie world!" Like we're literally going crazy, and I'm like, "Dude, all is right in the world. I'm a great guy."
Yeah.
Flash forward 2 weeks later, we're at a Team Illinois lacrosse, like huge lacrosse event, and I'm sitting in the golf cart, and my boss, like the head coach of the whole program, comes up and he's like, "Did you?" There's no easy way to ask this, but did you threaten a 10-year-old at practice like 2 weeks ago? And I was like,
Doesn't
yeah.
sound like me.
I was like, yeah, I did do that.
Would never. What do you mean?
He's like, yeah, his mom emailed me, and he was pretty scared.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I was like, dude, I didn't think anybody could be scared of me.
Eh,
But now I guess it makes
yeah,
sense.
when you're a 10-year-old,
Yeah.
that's that's a baller coach thing to do, though.
I thought it was
I'm
sick.
on your
I thought it was really sick. I gained the goalie's respect.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all that
you
matters
got
to
your
me.
boys. And I mean, when that dude's older, he'll be like, "That guy was a psycho,"
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine.
There was another kid
We'll all
who
move on.
did the same thing where I was warming up the goalies and he goes, "Can I shoot on them?" And this is a kid that's always a troublemaker.
Yeah.
I like him. I like him because he's like a personality, but he's always a troublemaker. He goes, "Can I shoot on them?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Can I shoot on them?" And I go, "No. Don't shoot on them." I turn around to warm him up. I just see a ball come out of my vision go into the net, and I turn around and go. I just pick up a ball and just throw it at him, and I just hit him in the chest. And he goes, "Oh!" I don't think anything of it. So then he's doing line drills. I turn around 10 minutes later, and he's crying.
Mm.
And one of the other kids goes, "Why did you just hit him in the chest?" And I was like, "God damn it, dude. I didn't mean to hurt him." And then I remember like 5 practices after that, I tell him not to do something. And he's like, "Fine, coach, as long as you don't hit me in the chest again."
Ooh.
And I was like, "Look, dude, we both know you deserve that."
Did you tell him that?
Yeah.
Damn, what'd he say?
No, he was like, "Yeah, you're right."
Oh,
He
well,
was like, that's why he was so endearing, is because
that's how those kids
he was
are
a total
sometimes.
shithead,
Yeah,
but he was
yeah.
like self-aware about how much he was a shithead. Just one
Yeah,
of those kids who's just always running laps.
right.
And you're like, yeah.
But I guess you got to know that about the kid before you tell him that you'll hit him twice as hard.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, just don't threaten children.
Right. Yeah.
Is
Obviously.
what I've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to take back my earlier comment that was okay. we should maybe
You actually
learn a little
said
more
I
about
was
these
like
kids.
pretty sick.
Yeah, I did think that was awesome in the in the time.
Which I kind of agree with still.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
scared of youth lacrosse blowback from this pod.
It could be bad, dude.
Yeah, it could be huge.
Yeah.
We could lose a lot of work.
One of the kids recently one show a month.
This could be a
Oh,
corporate
no.
gig that we're missing
They
out
got me. If you got offered a corporate gig, would you have any clean material?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty borderline though. I don't know if I have I don't know.
If they're like, "We need you to do 20 minutes clean,"
No, impossible.
would you just do your shit?
Yeah, I think I would have to because I don't know what else I would do.
Just fucking eat
and
a
I don't have
dick on
any.
stage?
Yeah, I don't have anything totally out of pocket.
You
but
still owe me $1,000.
Yeah, you're right. I don't have any like fun stories or anything. I think is my prop.
You have fun stories.
Not on stage.
Yeah, I guess
All
that's
my
true.
jokes are like 12 words long.
That is true. That when I was filming for or shooting Jack Snodgrass at the Vic when he was opening for Josh Wolf, I remember hearing Josh in the green room and he was talking about, he was like, because he just tells stories and he's really good, but he's
I
just
wish I
doing
had
all
that,
stories.
yeah,
And he
that's
was
so
telling
cool.
Jack, he was like, "Yeah, so I've got this current hour, and then I've got another hour that I'm working on, and then I have another hour that's pretty solid after that. So I've basically got like 3 hours right now. And Jack was just like, "That's fucking insane."
You're right.
I
But
read a
he's
joke
what,
and it's
telling
like
big long
5
stories?
minutes. Yeah. So one story for him is like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're just like, fuck.
That's so crazy though, because I do not have the patience to sit there and like set up a
No.
story. But although I don't know, I guess people who tell
Well,
stories are like
I was gonna
peppering it
say,
with jokes, so they get.
yeah, it's just a good story.
Yeah, yeah,
You're not thinking about setting it up.
for sure. That's where I'm. That's why I'll never make it.
So I was at. Yeah. Let me set the scene.
Yeah. Imagine, if you will.
Oh God. Every time someone says "if you will," I just want to won't.
Yeah. Do people say that
I'd say once a month I see someone say "if you will."
on stage doing
Yeah.
comedy stuff? Yeah, that's a bad take.
Dude, I was bombing. Well, I wasn't. I had a good set last night, but
Yeah.
I did like a little bit. I said like my mom, because we're test tube babies, and she had 3 of us. She had like one for every Reich, and I didn't set it up that well
Yeah.
because it was the first time I'd ever said it, which was on a show, which was risky.
And as we know, Nazis have never been more prevalent
They're
in the history of the world.
In the
If-
entire
if you
timeline, if you
take
look
out
at it,
a
if you
certain
look
chunk
at
of
it, if
time.
you take away the 30s, 40s,
Yeah.
50s, probably 60s and 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
they've never been more
Into the
relevant.
90s.
Yeah. Early 2000s a little bit, it leaked.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Yeah, it's never been more relevant
We're in an uptick,
than currently now.
as confirmed earlier.
Undoubtedly, it is going up.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that on the pod so bad, dude.
We'll
Bothers
leave it.
me so much. Also, it's not good because I look like a Nazi.
Yeah, that's confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I said this Third Reich thing, and I got a good reaction, but it was mostly like, ooh. Like, it was like,
Yeah.
ah. And then I was like, oh, you
Sometimes that's
guys,
fine.
you guys didn't really like that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
fine.
I was going to say something about that. Fuck. Shit.
Yeah. I feel like I had a similar experience the other day
Please.
where I said something and people were like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't remember either.
You know
That
what
was a great
is
segue.
You know what is fun though? That I
What's that?
started my set by saying I found out 3 weeks before my dad died that he wasn't my biological father,
Yeah.
and a woman went, "Oh," and
That's
I went,
like an introduction to a one-man show.
"It is.
Like you're
it really
at
is."
Fringe Festival doing that one.
But she went, "Oh," and I went, "Oh, get over it. He's dead." And I got a pop, and I was like, "I'm gonna do that more.
Nice.
I'm just gonna make people feel sympathy, and then just be like, shut up."
Yeah. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah. I think I remember what it was now.
What was it?
This setup about AI. And I said, even my uncle just lost his job to AI down at the dick sucking factory. And someone said, ew. And that was like the only response. I was like,
Sorry, you snorted.
alrighty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when it's silence, punctuated
Alrighty
by
then.
an ew.
Yeah. I was just
That's
like,
not good.
well, I'll fuck off then.
I'm gonna be honest.
I
I
mean,
have to
dick sucking
piss
factory is a classic.
so bad.
Dude, same.
So we should piss and then resume.
All right.
All right. I recently taught an intro to climbing course to a lady, and then at the very
Mhm.
end of the climbing course, she was like, I don't even know how we got onto it, but she was like, "Yeah, I like sail competitively on Lake Michigan." And I was like,
That's
"Oh my god,
sick.
I sort of sail sometimes. I just
Yeah.
sailed to the Great Barrier Reef
Hey.
on a 60-footer with 2 head sails."
Uh-huh.
And then she
And
was
she
like,
knew
"Oh
what you
my
were talking about?
god," she gave me her number. She was like, "You should totally come by and sail with us. I'm gonna do it."
For sure. You have to.
She was like, "There's a 350-mile race that we do," and I was like, "I'm gonna do it."
Is that the one that goes to like somewhere in Michigan?
Yeah, it is.
Do you like Bob Seger?
Bob Seger. Is that a musician?
Yeah.
I don't even know who Bob
Okay.
Seger is.
So I love Bob Seger. He's the man.
Okay.
Night Moves. Working on the night moves.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, he's a Michigander, and apparently he lives somewhere like in north of Michigan, and he once won that race.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's a big sailor. He's won
That's
the
so
race
badass.
from way up there, and I think you go either you just go to Chicago or maybe it's a loop. I don't know. But yeah, he's a champion. But another thing I was gonna say is they have a thing here in Chicago which I had never heard of, called I think it's called Nautical Scouts. It's like Boy Scouts, but they just sail.
That's way better.
Yeah, I had a
That's-
kid when I worked at the bike shop.
That's
The bike
what you
shop
were
is where
looking
I worked.
for?
Yeah, the
Shop?
shop. Yeah, we had a kid there who was a nautical scout, and it was extremely fucking cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Sailing is so cool. You're harnessing one element to conquer another.
yeah.
Yeah. You do go very slow, but it's like
Yeah.
this is. I just read a book about in 1969. Nice.
So
They
nice, dude.
they like made a competition that was public. Anybody could join it. It was called like the Golden Globe
That's
Award or race.
Golden
Fuck.
Globes.
I think it was called the Golden Globe
Okay,
or
bro.
something like that. Fuck. I hope I'm not fucking this up, but I'm definitely fucking it up.
Yeah, it's fine.
So 9 guys to enter, and the challenge is to single-handedly circumnavigate the globe on a sailboat.
Oh wow.
And so you have to be the only person on the boat, and you can't hit land a single time.
Someone's got to tell Seeger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
That would be that's the scariest thing I've
it's
ever
literally
heard, by the way.
it's like it's crazier than
That's
going to
terrifying.
the moon. It's literally crazier than going to the moon.
I don't know about that.
It is, dude. Could go to the moon, you got a whole team behind you. It's all
Oh, yeah, I
calculated
guess
out.
That's true.
You're in the sea.
Yeah.
You have no idea. You got a paper map telling you what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
And so, shit went south for a couple guys.
Would you rather go to the moon or to the bottom of the ocean?
When I'm at the bottom of the ocean, do I have flashlights?
Yeah.
Definitely the bottom of the ocean.
Same.
Actually, no, because that's just a dark pit, right? Can you see the Earth when
I
you're on
don't
the
know.
moon?
You're
Seeing
you're
the
either
Earth-
an astronaut or you're a deep sea explorer. You gotta pick one.
Floating's pretty cool.
Probably would be, but I'm not going to space.
Never?
No, I'm terrified.
Why?
Because it's scary.
What's scary about
One
it?
thing goes wrong, I just float away from Earth.
But that's also
for
just
the rest of my.
that's also just like
my
going
rest of
on
my
a plane,
month
though,
until I
right?
just die.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
But if I crash and die in a plane, I'm just gonna die like probably right away.
yeah,
I don't want to.
you just don't want to
ruminate
float
on it.
for a
Yeah,
long time.
That's what
Just be like,
scares me. I think.
Fuck, dude, I should
Yeah.
have clipped myself in.
Right. That's too scary.
That'd be
for
the
me.
ultimate regret.
You die at the bottom of the ocean, you're immediately imploded.
Yeah, that's true.
You're chum within a nanosecond.
The ocean is so terrifying, though, because
Yeah.
space doesn't have giant things
Right. There's
swimming
no
through it
giant
that are gonna
squid.
eat you and shit. And also, if you're at the bottom of the ocean, I feel like the view's not that great.
Probably not.
No,
But I also think
just like an abyss.
yeah, it's dog shit down there for sure.
It is. It sucks. It's almost like I'd rather not go.
If I'm dying though, I want to be back fertilizing the planet than just floating away in space.
Yeah,
is my
but
thought.
being
That's
able
where I'm
to
supposed to be.
being able to see the Earth from the moon would be a
That
really
beautiful
fucking
blue
crazy
marble.
experience.
Yeah.
There was a guy who did, I think it was acid in the fucking 80s or something, and he was like, why don't we know what the Earth looks like from space?
Mm-hmm.
And he started this whole campaign, and he was like, let's show what the Earth looks like from space. Why don't we have a picture? And then that motivated NASA to take a photo of the Earth from space.
Oh, really?
And that was like how we
they
got
didn't
the
do that before.
No, they were just like, we're on the fucking moon.
Well, that's because that was fake.
It's because they
That's
never went.
we've never
And
been
then
to the
wouldn't that
moon,
be funny if the
obviously.
initial one was fake and they're like, let's get an actual picture?
Right, let's
That's
really
like
go
when they
this time.
actually went. Yeah. But so that like actually motivated them to take a photo of the Earth from space, and it was the first time anybody in human history had ever seen the globe from space.
Because some dude was taking tabs.
Just a
Just
guy just
ripping
fucking
tabs,
tripping
huh?
out of his mind. He's like, why haven't we seen the Earth, dude? And then he created a message board, and enough people were like, that's a good point.
On the message board, was it first class?
All the other first graders were like, yes. Show
it's just
me the
pictures
Earth.
of Snoopy asking what the Earth looks like.
Please don't tell.
Have we really been to the moon?
Yeah.
I had a coworker who was a serial liar who, well, that's different. I don't know why I brought that up,
Pathological?
but yeah, she was.
Love those
She
people.
loved it. She loved telling lies. She once told me that she. This is a
Dude, I
tangent.
kind of love these people, by the way.
Dude, like I
Anything
can't
goes.
get over this. She once told me that she never saw a white person until she was in high school. I was just like, that's not. There's no way. There's no way.
Where'd you grow up, in the bottom of the ocean?
Like, I was just like, dude, come on.
Where was she from?
Pennsylvania.
She
Isn't that
grew up in
even
like
crazier?
Amish country, and she's
Isn't
like, I don't
that
count the
even
Amish.
crazier? Yeah. Just like, dude,
That's
you're
that's
nuts.
absolute horseshit.
But yeah, she was adamant that we never landed on the moon. She was like, why everyone who knew anything about the moon landing got murdered. I was like, except like Buzz Aldrin is still alive.
He's like giving speeches at colleges.
Right,
Yeah. We'll let one live.
Yeah.
We'll let the guy who did it up. Yeah, he was on the Earth.
Yeah, he was like the mastermind
Or on the
according to
moon.
this woman. Yeah.
Jesus.
No, he was there. Number 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever think about like Neil Armstrong said that like the like fucking one small step for man, one
Yeah.
massive step for mankind or
Yeah.
whatever?
You think Buzz put some tags on that?
He must have
he was
tagged it
mad
up,
he
dude.
didn't get
Yeah.
any credit.
That would be so funny if Buzz came up with it and then Neil was like, I'm gonna
That's funny.
by the way, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go out first.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I say that to the world?
Yeah. You mind if I say that real quick?
Do you mind if I'm the
To Houston.
Do you actually mind if I'm the first guy on the moon in history? Would that piss you off?
Yeah.
I know we agreed it would be you, but and your
Yeah.
name is Buzz.
Yeah.
So it'd be way
Right.
cooler if it was you. Although Neil Armstrong's a
Although,
pretty good name.
yeah, no, that's art. Neil Armstrong is from like 20 minutes from my house where I grew up.
I did not know that.
I mean, why would you?
I mean, he has been on the
Yeah.
moon. I feel like I should know that.
Yeah, but why would you know where I'm from in relation to
weren't the
Wapak
Wright
and Etta?
brothers from Ohio?
They're from Dayton, yeah.
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 I always thought that was funny because it's like they were like, we got to get the fuck out of here, dude.
And then they did their first flight in.
But I think South
North
Carolina.
Carolina
Yeah,
or
North
South
Carolina.
Carolina,
Both of your license plates claim that you were first in flight.
Is that what Ohio says?
I think North Carolina says
North
first
Carolina
in
definitely
flight.
says
and then
first
you're-
in flight.
I've seen Ohio ones
Home
that
of-
say like the
yeah,
Wright
I
brothers.
should know this.
Fucking yeah, you
Yeah.
should.
Because also, what's his name? Glenn somebody who was also an astronaut is from Ohio. You know, Armstrong from Ohio.
Glenn somebody.
There was a time like a year ago when I knew the state nickname of every state. You want to quiz me?
State nickname?
Yeah, like the official adopted state nickname.
What's New Jersey?
Garden State.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. I know Pennsylvania. That's Keystone.
Mm-hmm.
New York.
Empire State.
Okay, I knew that one too.
Yeah.
What's one I don't know? Delaware.
Delaware is the first state.
Okay. Indiana.
Hoosier State.
I thought that was Crossroads of America.
That's what they have like on when you enter the
Oh, okay.
state, but they're officially the Hoosier State.
Alaska.
It's the last frontier, I think, is theirs.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Montana.
Montana's big sky country.
Nebraska.
I want to say Cornhusker, but I might be wrong.
North Dakota.
North Dakota is the Peace Garden State.
South Dakota.
Is the Mount Rushmore State.
Fuck. You're good.
Yeah, I got him.
Did you set out to do this?
No, actually, so
Happenstance?
yeah, my buddy and I like love bar trivia, and he called me one night and was like, "We had the wildest topic at trivia last night," and that's what it was. It was like state nicknames,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was like, you know, it was this state and that, and I just like happened to know like what they were. I don't know why. So then I went on Wikipedia and I just learned the rest of them.
Nice.
Yeah,
You memorized
it's
them?
a fun fact. Yeah.
My coworker he like told me that he like worked with the ham radio. He was like certified
That's
or
kind of
whatever.
cool though.
And then he was like, yeah, because I heard him talking to somebody on the phone, and he was saying like, A is in alpha, B is in beta, and I was like, do you know the whole? And he was like, yeah, I know the whole phonetic alphabet, and he taught it to me,
Yeah.
and I just made it my mission. I was like, I
It's
literally
kind
wrote
of
it
a
in my
baller thing to
notebook.
know, yeah.
So I'd come into work and I'd be like alpha, beta, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Fox. Yeah, a couple ones I kept getting stuck on. Uniform.
I had a job where I was on the phone a lot, and someone said V, and I said V is in Volkswagen, and she was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I feel like that's good.
Yeah, she was like, "V is in Volkswagen. What the fuck do you mean?" And I was like, "All right, I'll just fuck right off, I guess."
Damn, dude.
But like, I didn't know the real phonetic alphabet, so I was
What
just
is the
I was
V?
clinging
Victor.
to
Victor. Yeah.
That's way clearer.
And he said part of the reason each word is the way it is because none of them sound similar to each other.
Right.
Yeah. Zulu's sick.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Yankee, Zulu, whiskey, tango,
Yankee?
yeah.
Whiskey
Foxtrot, I think,
Tango
is one of the
Foxtrot.
coolest.
Yeah, that's hard.
I want to name a kid Foxtrot.
Okay.
Maybe a dog.
Foxtrot's kind of hard though. That'd be like what's that book? The Outsiders. That dude's named Soda Pop.
yeah.
That's tough.
Well,
I think it's kind of hard.
have you ever had a cool nickname?
I don't know. Well, maybe I guess. My buddy in college gave me Codes Machine. That's pretty hard.
Codes Machine is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people in my life do not call me Cody.
Really?
They go with Codes. Yeah.
Codes?
Yeah.
I'd feel weird.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't know me as that.
Codes is cool though.
Yeah.
I've never had a nickname. It's such
Is
a
your legal
bummer.
name Harry?
Mm-hmm. That
Really?
like blows people away.
It's blowing me away.
It's because my namesake was Harold,
Yeah.
and he was like, I fucking hate the name Harold,
Really?
so everybody called him Harry.
Huh.
And then he, on his deathbed, he like told my mom, he's like, don't name a kid Harold, and she was like, sure thing. buddy. And then he
Harry.
died, and she was like,
H-Dog.
Harry. Yeah.
My mom's dad was named Harold, and he went by Hod.
What?
Yeah.
Hod?
Oh, yeah. Because he didn't like Harry. So
I
he
don't-
said Hod. He didn't like Harold.
Hod?
Too formal. Yeah,
I don't
H-O-D,
know.
baby.
I don't know about Hod.
Hod's hard.
Hod's kind of Hod.
Yeah, it's Hod. It's like a Boston accent.
Yeah. Now, I was called the albino squirrel for a little bit.
No, that rocks. Yeah, that's so you.
It does really. It's very
Did you get that
apt.
nickname here?
No, I got that on my lacrosse team.
Yeah. Albino squirrel.
That girl that you met earlier climbing,
Yeah.
her nickname, she went to a camp, her nickname was Blitz.
Of course.
How cool is that, dude?
Of course it was.
How cool is
Dude,
that?
she's the coolest.
Blitz.
Come on now.
I'm so jealous of that.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Dude, my roommate, my current roommate, his name is Tony Marbs. And during we're freshmen in college, we're playing Boom Cup in the basement. I say they're playing. I'm
Such a
watching and I'm
college game,
scared.
yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, there's so many.
That shit's
There's so much
crazy.
alcohol.
Yeah.
My first college party, they're like, "Do you want a beer?" And I was like, "No, thanks. I don't really drink."
Did you not drink in high school or anything?
No, I drank I drank like 5 beers total in high school. My mom at the end of high school, she was like, "All right, boys, tell me what you did." And we were like,
Really?
"We didn't smoke, we didn't drink." And she just went, "Fuck." Are you serious? And we were like,
kids
"Yeah."
are dorks.
Aren't you proud of it? Dude, literally, she was like, "You guys didn't do anything?" She found out that we had never gone skinny dipping one time, and she was like,
Well, I've never
"What the
done that.
fuck
yeah.
is wrong with
That's
you
an
guys?" And I
80s
was like,
thing to
"We're
do.
not, yeah, we're not
Yeah.
in Talladega Night. Like, what do you expect us to do?"
What is this?
She was like, "God, you're pussies." But what the fuck was I saying before? Didn't drink in high school. Oh, so I was watching them play Boom Cup, and this senior Eric Langston turns and he just goes,
Another full name shout out.
"I'm gonna do all of
Yeah.
them." And he turns to my roommate Tony and he goes, "Your name is Steelcock."
That's hard.
Steel for short.
Yeah.
They just called him Steel.
Mm-hmm.
And then they called it. It was so prevalent that even at practice, my coach would be like, "Steel," like fucking
No
slide.
way.
Yeah.
No way.
And we had another kid that we named his name was McGillivray, but he was like he was just like a thick kid, so we called him Meat. And our coach just immediately called him Meat.
Oh,
We had
that's
another kid
dope,
named
though.
Dylan, and he was kind of like spacey, so we called him Dylon.
Yeah.
Literally during practice, when our coach is yelling at him, he's like,
Dylon,
"Dylon, god damn it!" Yeah, it's amazing. Dylon.
Yeah.
But yeah, my fucking roommate's nickname was Steelcock.
That's
Steelcock Marbs. But what was sad is when that class graduated, so did the nickname.
Mm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
sad.
So no one could be Steelcock too.
No,
Steel June.
just left with them.
That's fine.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you get a nickname. It's yours.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always thought of like when I went from high school to college, I was like, what if I just tell people to call
Just
me Hank?
changed it completely.
Yeah. What if I just tell people to call me Henry or something? Just like completely. Or
Oh,
Hal.
Henry.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's like they've never met me. Maybe
Right.
that is what I've gone by.
Yeah. What if I moved to Chicago and I told everybody my name was not Cody?
They would just call you by that name.
Yeah.
Whatever name
I
you
could
said.
have done it. Yeah. Everyone would know.
Call me
by Codes. Yeah,
Theodosius.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Nice to meet you, Theodosius."
Old Theo.
Yeah, Docioso. They would do that. It's kind of like wearing a hat.
Mm-hmm.
I could
You're a
never
completely different man.
I could never wear a hat up until 2 years ago,
Really?
and I just started wearing a hat. And because I would put it on in the mirror and I'd be like, "I can't do this."
I've been a hat wearer since day one.
That's big.
Birth. Yeah.
That's nice. You've
Yeah.
always been comfortable in a lid.
Always.
Damn, dude.
Sometimes uncomfortable without it.
Such a privilege. Well, now I am uncomfortable without
there
it.
was a time when everyone just wore their hats like on the top of their head, and we
Can't
just all
stand
looked
it.
like morons. Yeah, like that was so fucking stupid of it.
I can't like the flat bills.
Oh, I was never a flat bill guy.
I remember
Yeah,
Weird.
that's unacceptable to me.
we were in Connecticut.
Some people can do it. I cannot.
No, both of us can't.
No,
There's a
no stand
reason.
chance. Yeah,
We were in Connecticut visiting family, and I'm a Patriots fan, as you can see by my shirt.
that's true.
But we were in, and like they had like a whole section of their hats, and I got a flat bill when I was like 11 years old, way too big for my head.
Yeah.
I remember I put it on. My dad was like, "You're not that guy."
Dude, shout out
And
your dad.
I just never wore the hat ever again. I remember my friend found it one time and he was like, "The tag's still on. I didn't know you were like that, like into hats." And I was like, "It's just because I never wore it."
Yeah, no, just because I was afraid.
Just because I
my
was
dad
ashamed.
bullied
Yeah.
me. Got bullied by my dad into not wearing it.
Oh, my dad was so good at bullying me. Dude, he would always
a
say
goated
this.
bully.
He would always, I used to have like just like a super high pitched voice,
Uh-huh.
and he would always be like, from ages I'd say 10 to 16, he'd always be like, "You used to have like a deep voice." He would always be like, when you were a 4-year-old, you'd always be like, "We're gonna go play outside now." And then he was like, then you turn 5 and you're just like, "We're gonna go play outside now." But I never
He's
remembered
making fun.
having the deep fucking
It's probably
voice.
fake.
It probably
He was
was.
just razzing you.
But he would just like fuck with me so much that my entire life I was just like, well, I guess my voice sucks a lot.
Dude. Yeah, my dad be loving cracking, cracking wise. I've got 2 sisters, and whenever I'd be just like acting like a pussy, he'd be like, "Oh, I thought I only had 2 daughters. Looks like I got 3."
Classic,
Yeah, which is like a classic
lumping me
dad fucking
in. Yeah,
roast.
thanks, Dad.
Yeah, he was right though.
I am a pussy.
I was not being a man.
My dad, when I was little, we'd be at the public pool, my grandparents' country club.
Of course.
Not the
Yeah,
the public,
this-
the
yeah.
extremely private pool.
Is this the one where the Range Rover was idling? or
Absolutely,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So we'd be in there, and I was like 7 or 8 years old, or like 6 years old, and what he would do is he'd see a group of high school girls,
Mhm.
and he'd be like, "Come here," and I'd be like, "I don't want to," and he'd be like, "Get over here,"
I can't.
and then I'd
Dad, I
swim
literally
over to
can't.
him. He'd pull off my pants completely. He'd pull off my swim trunks. He'd throw them in another direction, and then he would pick me up as I was screaming and squirming. I was like, "Please stop," because I knew where it was going. And he would hold me like a football, and then like he was a big guy, so he would launch me, and I would land on top of like high school girls, completely naked,
That is insane.
with my penis out. And I would be like crying, swimming back to my dad, who was dying laughing. It was so fucked up, dude. I would land naked. I would
Your
hit a girl in the
dad
head.
Is the bully?
Yeah,
That is so.
totally. Dude, one
That
time
is- That is so funny.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
So what would these girls do?
They'd fucking
Just
freak out. They'd be like,
spaz, of
"Oh my
course.
god!"
Which I shouldn't say.
And then
but they
they'd-
would freak out.
don't say
Yeah.
that. Come on, mate.
Come on now.
They'd fucking be like, "Oh my god!" There's a naked 6-year-old, and
Yeah.
then I'd swim back with my little penis to my dad. He'd be like, "Don't cry, you little pussy."
Right.
Dude,
Your
no-
dad sounds like a fucking blast. I'm like,
he raised us like a frat guy
for
would.
real.
He dude, we used to have fight nights where when my mom
That's
was like
rad.
commuting to New York City and she'd be there super late, and my dad's only job was to fucking make us dinner and put us to bed, and he would not make us dinner and then not put us to bed, and
Order
instead
pizza. Just
exactly.
rage. Yeah.
And then he'd order pizza and then be like, "Do you know how much this costs?" And we'd be like, "No, we're 10." And then he'd be like, "This
Yeah.
is exactly how much this costs. This is how much you're costing this family." And we'd be
Yeah.
like, "We didn't ask for this." But so my mom would be in the city and then he'd be like, "We're doing a fight night." And we'd be like, "We don't want to do a fight night." He'd be like, "We're doing a fight night." You know how like people in like 1800s times used to like fight their slaves?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they did.
Okay.
He would be like, first round is Harry and Teddy. Winner advances to Allie. So we'd just wrestle in front of him. And he'd be like, Harry wins. Allie's fighting it now.
Jesus Christ.
And my
she
mom would,
beat
like,
the shit out of you guys.
No, we were pretty good. Me
Oh,
and my
yeah?
brother were pretty.
How much was she older than
She
you?
was 2 years older, but we had that
Oh,
dog in
yeah.
us.
You're right.
Yeah.
My
and,
sister is 2 years old. She used to beat the dog shit.
Oh,
out of me.
really?
Yeah.
You had one of those sisters?
Yeah, yeah. She's extremely tough. Yeah.
That sucks.
Until it got to the point that like, I was about her size or bigger, and then all of a sudden was like, "You can't touch me, like I'm a girl."
Yeah.
You know, and then it
That's
then it would
so
be
fun.
over.
Oh, now?
Yeah, yeah. But she would beat the shit out of me, like way older than she should have.
How old?
Like, I was probably 7th grade.
So you're 13.
Yeah, she was just like strong. For
How
some
would she
reason.
start it? Would she just be like, "Welcome home, codes"?
I don't know. I don't remember that part, but yeah, there was definitely a time when like we just hated each other.
Uh-huh.
So we would
I get
hop
that.
off the
There was a
bus,
rivalry.
walk. Yeah, we would walk in the house, drop our bags, and it was just fisticuffs from there. It was just like dead on. But yeah, And then we were in high school, like we would just like not acknowledge each other at all for the full 2 years. It was pretty crazy. I remember people being like, "What is your problem with her?" I'm like, "Well, she fucking sucks. I
She's
don't know."
my sister.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my
Why would I
problem.
talk to her?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She stinks.
yeah,
Now are you cool with her?
yeah.
Yeah. That's the exact.
Yeah, the moment she got out of high school, everything was cool.
Literally the exact.
But like
same
in
way.
high school, we're just like, nah. I remember one time in high school, my buddy had a party, and her friend was like dating one of my friends, and we showed up at the same place, and it was like, what's going on? Yeah, it's
This
like,
shouldn't.
what the hell is this? This is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is weird.
right.
How much older was she?
She's 2 years older than me.
Oh, same. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so that was wild.
I don't know why. I just hated my sister.
I think that's normal activities
I just was like, I hate you so
when you're
much.
that close, you know. Because my other sister's 3-4 years younger than me. No, we never like hated each other. But I
No.
feel like when you're that close, it's like you gotta just
I just
fucking fight it out.
I just
guess.
remember
don't
being
know.
like, this is my number one enemy.
This is my biggest
this will
op
never
right now.
not be my number one enemy.
Yeah,
And now today we're like, remember when you used to just like tattletale on everything I did? And I'm like, yeah, I was a snitch.
yeah. I was being a bitch
Because I
about it.
hated you.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted you
I'm
to
a
get
hater.
corporal punishment.
facts, yeah.
Yeah. It was horrible.
Corporal punishment.
Yeah.
Although,
Couple lashings.
yeah, it sounds like that was going on in your house.
Corporal punishment for me and my brother was we would
Fight
just
Club
get
over
hit
there. Yeah.
by my dad. But for my sister, he wouldn't hit her. But what he would do is he would go to her bedroom, which was adjacent to mine, and then he would slam her door as hard as he could. And then he'd open her door and he'd yell, "If you keep slamming this door, it's gonna break." And then he'd slam the door as hard as he could. It would like shake the house. And then she'd be screaming, and I'd be in my bed just horrified. And then he'd open it
'Cause
again.
That's crazy.
And he'd be like, "If you slam this door one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to take it off its hinges." Slam the door again. And then just like, you're just sitting in your bedroom. You're like, "Please don't come into my room. Please don't
Yeah,
come into
yeah.
my room." Yeah.
He was just on a fucking tirade.
Dude, I literally, when I say like I watched a guy lose his mind, the dude lost his fucking mind. What he would do, and this is like after the divorce, he was insane. He was fully bipolar.
Yeah.
He would,
Confirmed, or is this just?
it's not
just what you're saying?
confirmed, but
Okay.
like it's,
But we're
you
pretty
could tell
sure.
this guy a joke 20 times, he'd have 20 different reactions. Either he'd be like, "That's hilarious," he'd be like, "I can't believe you'd say that.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up." And you'd be like, "What the, who are you?"
Yeah.
But it just constant anger and like swings, and you'd have no idea what it was just so scary being around him. And so what he would do is he would turn the AC like all the way up, and then he would sleep in his bedroom, and he'd like open the doors in his bedroom. He had like French doors that like
That's balling.
opened up. It was when the
Yeah.
old money was there.
Yeah, yeah.
It would like open up to a balcony in his bedroom, and he would leave them open so it would get cooler. And then I would hear him wake up my sister in the middle of the night and scream at her for having her window open.
Hmm.
And he was like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? We have the AC blasted." And then she'd be like, "You have both of your doors open.
Yeah.
You have like 2 full doors open." And then he'd be like, "Don't tell me what I'm doing." It was just, there was
Dude.
no like reason to it.
Yeah.
But he would just like, then just, yeah,
He's just
start slamming the
paranoid.
door.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
So could be some problems going there.
Yeah, almost definitely.
Yeah.
It was extremely terrifying to be around constantly. One time, I fell asleep. I was just like napping on a Saturday, and
That's a classic Saturday activity.
classic Saturday
Yeah.
activity, and he woke me up by pouring a bucket of water on me in my bed. And
The whole bucket?
Mhm.
Brutal.
And he had my sister and my brother in the room with him to like make an example out of me. And he was like, "I was worried sick about you. I had no idea where you were. You could have been gone. You could have been dead."
But you
And I
were
was like,
in
"I'm in
your
my
own
fucking
home.
room,
Yeah.
dude." This is
Worried
the first place.
Right.
You should have checked.
Literally. Number one stop.
And you decided to pour ice water on me? Yeah. That was super fucked.
Jesus Christ.
No, yeah, he was a
No.
huge bitch sometimes.
Wouldn't recommend. Wouldn't
No.
recommend that
No.
that move.
Not at all.
No.
Are you going to beat your kids?
For sure, yeah. No, dude. It's so wildly confirmed that that's not the move.
No, it's
There's
not.
like people put buckets of research, ice buckets of research, and
ALS.
they're like, do not hit your kids. And
Yeah.
people are like, well, I got hit,
What if
and
I
nothing's
just-
wrong with me,
I'm
right?
a great guy.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with me, right?
Sure, I have questionable voting.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like somebody who tells it like it is.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
my mama used to take the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
My dad would always be like, because he would hit us a lot, but he would always be like, it was just like the classic behind the head slap
A
you.
little smack. Yeah.
There was one time where he like really came at me, and I was like, yo, this is intense, dude.
Yeah, because you couldn't fight him.
Because I blocked his hands, and then he kicked me, and I was like,
Ooh.
I am but a little
Did
child.
he sweep the leg?
Oh, he he
Is this
swept
a
the fucking
full-
leg,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is a Karate Kid situation?
Oh, he fucking did the forbidden dragon move on me. Hit me because his foot was the size of my chest.
Of course, yeah.
I
He sounds
remember
like
he
a big
fucking
man.
hit me, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
I can't believe you just did that to me." And then I scurried away like a little rat to my room.
Of course, yeah. I'm bailing on that immediately.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Not gonna stay and fight.
Yeah, no, not a hitting the kid kind of guy, I don't think.
No, it's probably not a good move.
Yeah.
Also, the thing is with kids is they're so easy to traumatize other ways. If you just like,
Yeah,
it's like
you
a
could-
dog where if
yeah.
you just like say like, "Hey," like they sense the
Right,
urgency
they
in your
sense the-
voice.
The tenseness.
Yeah. My dog got into some raw chicken one time.
Oh, yeah?
In when I was like a junior in college. I was like home for the summer. He got into some raw chicken, and I never lose my shit ever.
Yeah.
I when I was little, I had very bad temper problems,
Mm-hmm.
and like when I lose my shit, I really lose my shit, but it just doesn't
Really pop
happen
off.
anymore. And I can't. I like set out this chicken on the counter. I scooted it back, and I was like, I'm gonna eat this. This is my dinner. So I'm all prepared. And I go out to like, I was in the yard. I was like mowing the lawn or something, and I come back, and I see that my dog has eaten all the raw chicken. And it's just my dinner for the night is just ruined. And I just yell. I was like, Duke! And I hear him run up the stairs, and I just said like the most blood curdling. I was like, I'm gonna get you. And I stormed up the stairs, and he was in the attic. He made it to the attic,
all the way
and he was
scared.
literally in a corner, just like whimpering. And I just
Dude.
was like, I'm sorry, man.
Right, you
I
can't
don't
be
know.
mad at
What
a
am
dog.
You're a dog.
Right, you can't
I'm
stay
so
mad at him.
sorry. But I'll just never forget. I was like, I never realized the effect that my voice could have on another living creature.
Right. You could really
So
freak
wild.
somebody out just by talking
He really
crazy.
was like, this guy's gonna kill me.
Right.
Because I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill
Also,
you.
he knew he wasn't supposed to eat the chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he
he was
fucking
super
knew.
scared, yeah.
Yeah. He shouldn't have done that.
You ever miss mowing the yard?
Oh yeah, I love mowing.
That's a huge...
Mowing's so fun.
Yeah. I wish I had something to mow.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck.
They have a mowing simulator.
Yeah, I might sign up, dude. That's like why I can't move to New York, because I just like... I've been in New York a couple times, and I was there once for a whole week, and on like day 3, I was like, where's the grass?
Yeah.
I was like disoriented at some
No.
point.
there's no grass.
I'll never make it.
You
and
have to
that's why,
volunteer at
yeah.
Central Park.
Right, dude.
Why didn't you make it in comedy? No grass.
No, not enough
That's why.
grass. Yeah, LA's on fire and New York's got too much concrete.
Mowing is really cathartic. And when you like do it really
you make
well,
it look clean.
when you
Oh,
fucking
come on,
clean
lay
it
some
up,
stripes.
I feel like that's like
lay some
I feel
fucking
like
stripes.
black guys have like the barber shop and white guys have the lawn.
I
in
was
terms
wondering
of
where
just
you were gonna
cleaning it
go
up.
with that, but that makes
Just being
sense
like,
to
this
me
is a
now.
nice
Yeah.
fade on my front lawn, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The low taper.
Yeah,
that would
dude.
be beautiful.
And then your neighbor's like, "Can you do mine?" You're like, "Would I ever?"
15.
Yeah, 15 and a beer.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, I miss mowing. My dad had a ride on for a little bit.
I lived in a place that had a yard, and they would pay people to come mow it. I would always toss those guys beers,
Fuck yeah,
and they would always take it.
Of
I'm like,
course.
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Wouldn't
literally.
you? I mean,
will
literally, if
do-
you were doing your job and someone was like, "Hey, take a beer," and you were
Yeah.
allowed to take it, you would 100% do that. Yeah,
Absolutely. Even if I didn't want it, I'd be like, "This is an experience,
for sure.
and I'm gonna have
Yeah,
it."
you're bonding with that guy. That shit's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I would literally do any like manual labor for a day, as long as you let me get fucked up while I was doing it.
Yeah.
I would literally like build a pyramid if you were just like I'd do like back-breaking work
Didn't-
if you were like you get
yeah.
to take a hit and you get to get fucked up while you do this.
What is the wildest thing you would do, like for a beer? Like,
A single beer.
I guess not a single beer because that's clearly not enough. But a job where you just get to fucking have a couple beers. Building pyramids, pretty insane.
My standard
But
is
also, that's
is
just like
so low.
bricklaying. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is like I'm with the boys.
Right. I'm hanging out.
Dude, so much of my lacrosse experience in college was just like we're waking up for a 5 a.m. practice. It's 2 degrees out. We fucking hate our lives.
For sure.
But then you get to revel in the camaraderie of being like, we're out
Right,
here.
we're
we
all out here eating
hate our
shit together,
lives.
yeah.
Exactly. We're like slipping on ice. Our turf sucks.
Right.
And that's why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if I had a job that was like super shitty, but I had a good ensemble around me,
Yeah.
that could take me a long time.
That goes a long way.
It does. Like I would, and we talked to this guy today who came in and he was a bike messenger,
That's a fucking tough gig.
and we were asking him all about it.
Yeah.
And
That's an insane job.
And
they
he-
make like no money, and
I
they
know.
just haul ass.
and I was like, "Have you been hit by a car?" And he's like, "Yeah,
of course.
obvious." He told a story of like rolling over a hood and like breaking their windshield. He broke his wrist another time, and I was just like, I kind of want to do your job because it would
It's
pay
fucking
about the
nuts.
same as my job,
Yeah.
and it would be exhilarating.
There's that movie about it with
Premium Rush.
yeah. That's a wild
Joseph
one.
Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I only know that because I looked it up to ask this guy if
Yeah.
he'd seen it.
Dude, yeah, I know a couple people who have done that, and they both said it like wasn't worth the money, but it's like an exhilarating experience because
That
you're
sounds
just
worth
like
it to me, dude.
tearing shit through the streets.
Yeah,
I don't know.
just like risking your life constantly.
You mentioned playing lacrosse. I want to ask this question. What is the time when you got your ass just completely handed to you playing sports?
I'd love to tell you because I have a great example.
Bring it, yeah.
In,
I asked.
in high school, senior year, we go to Hunterdon Central.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the Red Devils or whatever, or the Bulldogs. So we go there. They're a really good team.
Yeah.
We go there. We're warming up. They're playing Goofy Goober. They're
Yeah,
blasting.
That's hard.
I'm a Goofy Goober. We're warming up. We're all like laughing about
That's
it.
super
We're like,
hard,
this
though.
is funny. This is fun that they're doing this. We're all having a good time. And I'm one of the captains, so we go up for like,
got that C.
yep, we go up. They never put it on the jersey, but
They knew.
the people knew.
Yeah, yeah.
So I go up. I'm with like the 4 other guys. We're talking to their captains, and we're just standing at midfield across from their 4 other captains. The refs haven't even gotten to the midfield yet, and we're just staring there, and we're just looking at like eyeing them up. And I remember my teammate goes to them. He goes, "Why are you guys all wearing ankle socks?" And the guy looks at my friend. He goes, "'Cause we're gonna beat the fuck out of you." And then they put 10 on us in the first quarter.
Holy shit.
I had 10 saves, to be fair.
Yeah.
I went 50%, but yeah, they fucking annihilated us. I just never forget my friend just going, "Why are you wearing ankle socks?"
That
And he
is
just,
such
without
a
missing a
cool
beat,
guy
just goes,
response.
"'Cause we're gonna beat the fuck out of
For
you."
sure, dude.
After they're playing Goofy Goober.
Dude, that's so
Do
sick.
you have a
That
story
kid
of your own?
rocks. Yeah. I think it was my junior year, and this was in high school too. I was playing golf, and I think it was like our 3rd play or something like that. So anyway, it doesn't matter who I was, but I played like complete dog shit. I shot like 86 or something like that.
So probably the best day I'd ever played.
Well, dude, I was with shot 65.
Damn.
Just
that's like Tiger.
lit my shit up. Lost. His teammate shot like 64.
Holy shit.
So they went, I think 65, 64. Maybe it was 66, 65, but it honestly doesn't matter.
You're
but
just
yeah,
not even close.
I just got murdered by the guy. Like literally every hole. He was like tap in birdie.
God damn.
And I was just
And
like,
you're, like in the
hacking out of the
sand,
woods.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ. But that kind of shit happens, dude. I love that question because sometimes people are like, yeah, I played basketball against this guy who went to the NBA and he dropped 50 on me.
Uh-huh.
It's good times. Yeah,
I
I got
lo-
fucked up, though.
It's very character building to get fucking.
For real. You, like,
blown
need
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was always on the team that was like. Well, in high school at least.
Actually, this is a fun add-on to that.
Please do.
We're on the 18th hole, and I just, like, off the tee sliced one into the woods.
Perfect.
And he was just like, Ciminillo, if you don't find it, just put it in the fairway. I want to get the fuck out of here. I was like, all right, well, fuck me, dude.
Oh my god.
He was like, you're getting in my way. I'm trying to win this tournament.
I'm trying to shoot the best round
Yeah.
of golf I've ever played, and
Yeah,
you're not
for
even
real.
in my same
yeah,
stratosphere.
he was like, just fucking move it along, would you?
For golf, because like lacrosse, you can just chirp each other the entire time. But for
Yeah.
golf, it's like a gentlemanly sport.
Yeah, I was just kind of sitting there taking like the biggest ass beating like possible.
So you're just sitting in the cart
And there was
silently, just like marking the
walking,
card.
even walking.
Oh,
So I'm walking
man.
to my ball. He's hitting the ball 300 yards. I'm hitting it like 250 with the wind at my back, and I'm just like walking to my spot in the trees trying to hack it out. And he's just like, "Would you get the fuck on right now?" And there was another dude playing with us. I have no idea who they were or what they shot because all I remember is getting fucking raked over the coals by this guy.
God damn.
Yeah,
That sucks, dude.
yeah.
Did it start out good, or was it just immediate right off the bat you sliced?
Let me think. I feel
Because
like
golf is so mental.
no, I probably went like par and then just exploded from there. But I do remember he fucking like lipped out for eagle on the first hole,
Ooh.
and I was like long day ahead,
Yeah.
which completely took me out of it mentally, and then I just ate shit the rest of the day. But like we lived in the same city. I knew the kid like my whole life. I knew he was gonna beat me, but I didn't think he was gonna go
annihilate.
mid 60s,
I mean, that's
and I was
literally-
gonna like have to focus to break 90. Fucking say crazy day. And then he lost, and I know that hurt him a lot.
Yeah, he must have been
To fucking lose to his teammate by
furious.
one stroke after he played a career round.
65. I don't think I'll ever shoot a 65.
No, not at all.
That's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
One of my goals in comedy is to get so good at comedy that I completely shit the bed in comedy and great at golf.
Wouldn't that be the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that about pool.
Really?
I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, I just want to get good enough at comedy that I can like tour a little bit, and then I can just like spend all day at a pool hall and do a set at night and like make more money gambling pool than I can doing it. But that's a pipe dream. That's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, well, if you say that, man.
I mean, I just don't think I'll ever get that good at pool. That's the people are crazy at pool.
Comedy, yes. Pool.
Comedy is more attainable to me than pool.
Probably not.
Yeah.
For
The
me,
old
it's like
eight ball.
every activity I do, I'm just like, if I could just dedicate my entire life to this, I could be great.
Right.
I just have
Yeah,
to
anyone
dedicate
can
my
say that.
entire life to it.
And then I am dedicating an insane amount of my life to comedy.
No, yeah, really.
Right.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm still.
And then you
not
see
that
how
good
hard
at
it is to be
this.
that good at shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And then also for comedy, it's like you see people who are just like a million times better than you, and they have
Right.
nothing, and you're like, so it's like,
Yeah.
so it's not a meritocracy.
It's
So
really
you can just be
not.
like really, really, really good, and it just doesn't matter.
I mean, that's what happened to me in improv. I was just like my teachers and like other people just in Chicago, because this is the mecca of improv
Yeah.
on the planet.
it is.
And
it
I was
really
just
is.
like, these people are so wildly talented. Like, I don't think I'll ever be this good.
uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, they all have day jobs and they don't make money.
Yeah,
You know, they put on these insane shows
they're like
every
some of the
single
best
week.
in the world.
Yeah. And no one knows who they are and they don't make any money. I was like, well, people who kind of suck make a decent amount of money doing stand up, so I should investigate
Yeah,
that situation.
I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah. And then I get into that. I'm like, oh, well, this is insanely hard as well. So it's like there's no winning.
That is true. Yeah, we're both
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't know how it is with you, but like I like really genuinely don't have a plan B. It's like stand up or bust.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, I've told enough people that I'm doing it that if I were to quit, it would be so humiliating
Dude, that's why I
that
tell
I
people
can't do anything else.
I
I
literally
have to make some sort of money or career out of this. Otherwise, I that's just too much for me to handle.
completely agree.
Yeah,
Because the
and
next
then I'm
wedding
shoving
you're
a
at,
tennis ball in the
yeah,
exhaust pipe,
which
and
still works.
Yeah,
If that doesn't, try a potato.
yeah,
It's about the same circumference.
that's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's part of the reason when I was like going out of college, I just told everybody I knew. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
yeah.
And they were like, okay, man. And then I was like, now I did it.
Right. I wish I'd have done that. I'd have had 10-year head start on where I'm at now.
What age did
But-
you start?
I started doing stand up here in Chicago at 30.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah,
That's really nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, man, you got to get on the road.
Apparently, I'm way too far behind.
You got to start
brother.
touring, dude.
I'm fucked now. Yeah, I got to become a road dog in the next 6 months, or I'm cooked.
I need this 5 minutes to be killer
Yeah.
right now. That's the other thing
Yeah,
is
dude.
there's no like when you have a career like a 9 to 5, it's like okay, I do this, I do well, I get promoted to this position, and
Yeah.
I get promoted to this position.
I mean,
stand up, it's just all like, what the fuck is gonna happen?
oh yeah.
Because
I thought you were going
everybody's
another
trajectory
direction
is.
with that, but
What
yeah.
direction do you think I was gonna go?
Well, like when I first thought I was going to do comedy, I also had like a pretty good job at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and so I
Rip.
like, yeah, I like didn't need comedy as bad because I was
Yeah.
like doing good at my job and I liked my job. So then I had extra money to just fuck off, and I was less motivated.
That's part of the reason.
But now I've taken a step backwards career-wise because I'm an idiot.
No, because I'm prioritizing my art.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I'm like, well, I have to make it in comedy because my career is fucked.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I honestly, that's my exact strategy. Is just like just absolutely ensure that I have no career, so that I have to
Smart
do comedy.
move. No plan B, like you're saying.
No plan B.
Yeah.
Because if my back's not against the wall, I'll fuck off, and I know I will.
That's what happened,
I
dude.
just
Like my
can't
life was
let
too
myself
good.
do
I was
that,
just
yeah.
kicking it for too long.
If I made 6 figures a year, I'd be like,
I was not doing that, to be clear.
if I made 5 figures a year,
I was making high 30s a year. All right.
Dude, honestly though, if I was
And
making high
and
30s
I was
a
like,
year,
life is good.
dude, exactly.
Yeah.
I know people that make 80K, 90K a year, and they're like, they complain about money, and it's like, dude,
Not possible.
if I make 20K this year, I will be ecstatic.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I can buy McDonald's twice a week and not even worry about it. That's crazy.
Not even off the value menu.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want.
I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to get Fry the Coop this week.
Fry the Coop.
Dude, I told myself, I was like,
lit.
Fry the Coop's so good. In February, I was like, so January, I spent too much money on food.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I need to curb my spending. I'm going to like really track it. So then February 1st happened and I had the worst hangover I've ever had in my entire life. So I spent $30 on a DoorDash for a chicken noodle soup. And then
Dude.
literally like the next day I got Fry the Coop, which was like $25. And I was like, all right, so that's my budget for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Gone.
You're just eating spaghetti.
That's
dry.
I'm going to go home and just eat spaghetti.
Yeah.
I'm going to edit
I
this
know that
podcast.
game. I know that game.
Actually, I'm just making a chicken breast tonight. I still have to edit this podcast.
Are you boiling? How are you cooking?
I'm
it?
baking.
You're baking? Yeah, that's cool. That rocks.
I have a foolproof recipe with balsamic vinegar that
Oh, really?
you can't fuck up.
See, that's where your money goes, is to the balsamic.
Balsamic vinegar is not cheap, dude.
No, it's not.
It's from Modane.
It's
that
so
or
good,
whatever.
though. It's
Yeah.
so good.
It is
It's
so good.
gas.
It doesn't even smell good, but it tastes
Balsamic?
good.
Yeah.
don't
I
think
guess
it
I've never
smells
attempted
good.
to smell it, but
Smell it, dude.
it's perfect.
You're kind of like, I don't know, and then
Throw
you
it on
taste it,
some
and you're like,
mozz-
that works well with anything.
mozzarella.
I've never done that.
What? Brother. Slice a tomato, slice mozzarella, basil leaf, drizzle that balsamic on it.
If I took the tomato
You'll
off,
come.
that sounds pretty good.
You don't like tomatoes?
I don't like tomatoes raw.
All right.
That's just too much.
You know, that's fine.
Sorry, dude.
I'm not going to argue with you about it.
I'm a super picky eater. And it like
I was okay with the tomato,
there's
but now
like-
you want to tell me you're a picky? You're a grown man.
there's like nothing I could tell people that I'm like vehemently racist and like half of the
Yeah,
country
picky
would
eater's
take my
worse.
side.
Yeah.
If you tell people you're a picky eater, every single person is like, I hate you so
Yeah.
much. There's just no home
I'm
for
in that
us.
camp.
But
I'm
I
in that
can't
camp.
control it.
So what do you do like at a restaurant? Are you one of those people who are like, no onions, no cheese?
I
Well, no one
order
hates cheese, but-
strategically.
yeah.
I have to order. There's normally, I'd say if I go to any given restaurant, there's 1 to 2 items that I can order without. There are 1 to 2 things that I can get where I'm like, I will finish most of this.
Yeah.
But when I was little, dude, I used to, and it was so humiliating. I'd be like, I'd go to like, my parents would be like, this is a special night. We're going to go to like a really nice restaurant. And then
Ruby
I'd be like,
Tuesdays.
could I have pasta with butter? And then they'd be like, you just want pasta with butter? And I'd be
Yeah.
like, also Parmesan cheese. And then my family would just be
Lisa.
like, God damn it, dude.
Yeah.
And some restaurants would be like, we can't just give you spaghetti with just nothing on it. And I'd be like,
what?
but you have it on your
Okay, that's
menu. Like, you
dumb.
have like bolognese. So like, just
That's
don't do that. Just like
Dumb.
keep the ingredients out. And then they'd be like, well, you can order from the kids menu. And I'd be like, but I'm 17.
Yeah.
Give me your fucking
Which is a
plain
hit
pasta.
to the ego then. But nowadays, I'll order
Oh
from a
my
kid's menu. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you should.
It's
a
fine.
free country. But
Yeah,
what was
it's a
worse?
free country.
What was worse is my mom would be like, I would be looking, and she still does this to this day. Because anytime she visits me, she'll be like, "I'll take you out to a nice place." And now I'm pretty good about like I can just order something and I'll be like, "I'll fucking eat it."
Yeah,
I'm gonna not probably like it that much, but I'll just fucking eat
that's
it.
fine.
There's enough stuff that I can get it and look like a normal human being. But my mom will still like look at the menu and then like wall the waiters. She'll be like, "Honey, did you see that they have like the plain fucking steak thing?" And I'll be like, "Mom, stop it!
Shut up,
I can order
Mom."
myself."
Yeah,
It's so embarrassing.
and you're like plain waffle.
Yeah.
No, no add-ons. I have a buddy who I don't think he's a necessarily picky eater, but he does hate onions specifically. And onions are in every single food, like every single dish. There's always onions.
That's true.
So he has to order shit without onions, and they constantly give him shit with onions in it, and then it becomes a thing,
I mean,
which is such a drag.
I'm on his side.
I feel bad for.
I'm on his
Yeah,
side.
because I'm like
it
he
ruins it.
he doesn't like one thing.
Yeah.
It's not hard to make it without the one thing.
Okay, so
but people
so
kind of act like
you
a prick
sort
about
of
it.
get
I do
my
get
point
it.
of view.
I do get it, but yeah, I do get if you just hate like if you just don't
It's
like
the
tomatoes.
texture.
yeah,
Exactly. It's like
Then just get it without
I'm
tomatoes.
asking you to do less.
Yeah.
When I go to a
That
Mexican
too.
restaurant and I'm like, "Can I just have a steak burrito? I just want steak, rice, and cheese."
Mm-hmm.
And every single time they put fucking onions.
Of course.
And every single time I bite into it and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's an onion." And I'm like, "So you could have just not included this, but you chose to do extra work
Right.
and you chose to put it in." And that really bothers me.
That's
And
fair.
I know I'm a
I think
gringo.
everybody everybody
hate me?
imagines the person who won't eat like any food and who's an actual picky eater.
Yeah.
When really most picky eaters are just like, I don't like onions.
Because one thing can ruin an entire dish.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and I hate the fucking argument. I would get like sandwiches and I don't like lettuce or mayonnaise, and people would be like, "Just wipe the mayonnaise off." And I'd be like, "Do you know how mayonnaise works?
Yeah.
Do you know how liquids work? You
Although I
can't
love
wipe them off."
mayonnaise.
It just makes
but
me want to fucking jizz on
to
their
s-
face
to
and be
s-
like, "What? Just wipe it off."
Makes me want to get sexually aroused. Stroke myself to climax.
Yeah.
Whenever
it really
someone
does
tells me.
frustrate me so
Yeah.
much.
Is that what you do when you're frustrated?
Just wipe it off.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, I'm getting mad now.
You're so worked up.
Dude, literally one of the first bits that worked ever that I wrote for stand up was like a 6-minute bit about being
Yeah.
a picky eater
Yeah.
and comparing it to pedophilia. And I literally
Okay.
I remember so clear cuz we both can't control it.
Yeah.
The big
oh,
punchline.
yeah.
I'm going to bring it back eventually
For
when
sure.
I have the brains to
It
do.
makes sense.
It's like one of the big punchlines was like cuz at the end of the day like we're both fucking children. Which
I get it.
And I remember I wrote this bit and it was the only thing that I ever wrote that would work consistently at that time. And I just remember like vividly thinking like I'll never write anything better than this. And now
yeah.
I can't even bring myself to say it out loud because it's so cringe.
Yeah, no, it's humiliating.
But I'll never forget just like
Those early bits are
looking at
are
it being
pretty
like,
brutal
yeah,
to think
this
about.
is- I remember Drew Gregory asked me, he was like, "How much time do you have?" And I was like, "Probably 14 minutes." And I was like 2 months into comedy.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "I have a 7-minute bit on snakes." and how the first and
Yeah,
how Adam and
I'm
Eve.
sitting on some gold biblical
Yeah.
stuff.
I only get to do 4 minutes at open mics, but if they let me do 7,
Yeah.
and then I bombed so
Yeah, in
hard
what
at
world
an
did you
8-bit
think
mic
you
that I got rivals.
In what world are you like? Well, I've only ever done 4,
Yeah,
but I definitely have 20.
I have a theoretical hour,
Yeah.
which I have typed
People
out.
love saying that though.
Yeah, I've heard people be like, "Yeah, I have 45," and I'm like, "I've never seen you do well in 3. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen you do well."
One of the it's not wild because everybody thinks this, and I've definitely fallen victim to this, but a lot of people who are like just starting, they think that like just a rant is gonna work.
Oh man.
You ever notice that?
Yeah, I have.
Like the person, it's like their first
Yep.
mic or like their top 10 mics, and they just
I'm
got
really
it on the
angry
phone.
and
They're just-
passionate about this.
They're just ranting, and then you can see where they think the big laugh is gonna be because they stop, and then
Mhm.
it's just silence. It's like you gotta write jokes. You
Ooh.
gotta have a joke.
You gotta have jokes.
and you don't when
It's
you're
a
just
safety net.
when you're just running, you know,
Yeah.
you don't got no jokes. So
The pausing for laughter, like when you expect it and then nothing happens, is just
Humiliating.
like so devastating. And when
mhm.
you watch other people do it, you're like, just keep going, man. Like you can't let us know
Right.
that you thought there was gonna be a laugh there. Because I've seen people like really good comics will bomb and you won't know they're bombing, because they'll say something that was like designed to be a punchline and they'll just keep talking after that.
Right. You just gotta blow through. I
But
guess.
I'll just die on the sword every time. Like
Yeah.
I'll say a punchline and then I'll just stare at the audience and be like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we got nothing.
I was gonna
I'm
say.
gonna move on now. But I was supposed to be on the wave by now,
Yeah.
and I'm sort of clamoring at my surfboard.
Yeah.
More of a boogie board.
I
I can't stand up.
I definitely fall that way as well. If I say something in bombs, I'm just like, all right.
Yeah,
And every time I'm like, why did I fucking say that?
I know.
I should just kept walking because now they know that I
It's
ate shit on that one.
and then you have to sort of be like artificial about like, here's my next joke.
Yeah.
It's like we all know this is an act, but some people
Still,
hide it a lot
it's
better
just
than
a-
others.
Process of constant humiliation.
Yeah, man, I bomb so much.
Almost exclusively.
You know what sucks is like all my coworkers here, they like found out I do stand up, and they'll just be like, so like it'll be a Tuesday. I can do like 3 mics on a Monday.
Yeah.
They're like, how was last night? Did you do mics? And I'll be like, yeah.
Ate shit over
And then
and
they'll
over.
be like, how were they? And I'll be like, I bombed everyone. Like I literally bombed
Yeah.
3 mics in a row. I
Just
went to
tanked it.
one, it went bad. I said maybe this will be a pick me up. I did worse, and then I got fucked up after that because I was
Yeah.
sad, and then I forgot my lines on stage, and then so they'll be like, how'd it go? And I'll be like, I bombed every single one. And they'll just be like, oh no. And it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like this is my
Yeah.
life. I suck a lot, and that's kind of part of the process.
And people want to see it though.
They
Like
say they
my
wanna see it.
family, yeah. Like family members, but
But if
like,
they
I wanna
really
see
saw
it.
it,
Yeah.
They'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah. And like Emily will be like, "Well, I don't know if Cody's any good. I never get to see him." I'm like, "Do you want to sit in the back of the shittiest bar in town
You have no idea
for 6 hours?"
how bad an open mic is.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
It is a terrible time.
It's
To see people
it's
suck,
so
by the way.
depressing. That's the thing is like it's not just me. You're
Yeah.
watching people who are fully delusional
Mm-hmm.
go up and just suck.
Yeah.
And then I go up and I suck.
Of course. Yeah.
And then I have to be like, no, I'm gonna make it.
the whole room sucks. Yeah.
'Cause you're
And
friends
then-
with me.
Then you're gonna be like, "Oh no, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
different.
different than
yeah.
yeah. I'm different than everybody else who did exactly like me."
Yeah. It's my ex-girlfriend literally was like, I was like, I'm not. She kept begging me to come to an open mic, and I was like, I'm not gonna bring you to an
Yeah.
that would be the equivalent of me playing college lacrosse and inviting you to a practice and being like, sit in the stands,
That
watch
it
us
is.
practice.
Yeah.
Because that's not gonna happen. And then she was like, I'm gonna
Except it's a
sneak in.
practice where you eat shit at every drill.
It's a practice where you
And
eat shit in
fucking
every drill.
Most other people do too.
Yeah.
Except one guy just dunks on you all.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's really
it can
horrible.
Be tough.
But it's like a double-edged sword because sometimes you have those open mics that are magical, and you're like, if someone saw this, they'd really
Right.
know. They'd really know I'm gonna make it.
But for me, that's usually like going last at Lottie's.
It's almost
Yeah.
always like when you're a deadliner. Yeah.
Just not giving a shit, swinging for the fences.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably eat shit there too, but maybe I feel like I'm doing better for some reason. I don't know.
Your pupils are dilated, and you're like, this
Yeah.
is it.
Like, this is
what
the
I'm-
one, guys.
But honestly, they on Talking Funny on the HBO Talking Funny thing, they asked Seinfeld. They were like, "When did you decide you were a comedian?" And he said, "From the moment I did my first open mic, like my first
Really?
set, I was like, that's it. I'm doing comedy. Like I am a
Alright.
comedian." And I do have those moments. Like last night at the Lincoln Lodge, I did my show, and it was like a sold out room, and I was like, that was fucking nuts.
That's
I
extremely
can't believe I just
cool,
got
yeah.
to do a
That
sold out
rocks.
room, and it was amazing,
Mhm.
even though I cut it short. And then I like snuck into the main room, and then I snuck into another room because they're the 3 room. I just was like watching comedy and just
Mhm.
going back and forth, and I was just like, I am doing the thing that I want to do.
Yeah, that's extremely
Technically, I
baller.
have already made it because I'm there. Like
Yeah,
I'm
'cause you're
doing
doing
comedy.
it,
I got
yeah.
paid for it tonight.
Which is a lot further than most people ever get.
I was
because
also thinking about
yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
like
a lot of people just talk about it and they never do it.
the majority of
you know?
people talk about it and they never do it, and then a super big number of people do it for 6 months and then they quit.
That's
Very
true.
few people actually like get to this point, even though it's nothing, obviously.
Right. That's also
But I was just sitting in the back and I was like, this is pretty fucking cool that I
Yeah.
did a show, I got paid, and now I'm just hanging out at a club, watching people I know do stand up, and I feel comfortable. So wild.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I have made it. And then I
Come a
woke up
long
in the
way.
morning and I was like, I am poor.
Have to go to work.
I have to go to work.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably 60% of the reason I do this is because I don't want to have a real job.
I'd say that's probably 97% of the reason I do this. It's because I know that if I had a real job, I'd blow my brains out.
Yeah. I don't want to have a real job. I want to make a living being a massive hater.
Yeah, man.
And that's pretty much.
I'm good at hating.
It's my whole act.
I may not be good at
You know
a
this
lot
shit
of things.
sucks. You ever notice how shit sucks?
You know who's good at criticizing stuff? Me.
Yeah.
I know better than all of you.
I should be in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like when you're watching a football game and they run a screen on 3rd and 11, you're like, maybe I should
I
be a
wouldn't have
head
done
coach.
that. Yeah. Or like I would have definitely like faked that pass. And
I
thrown
would have
the other
done.
direction
I would have
because-
done 4 verts. Put the running back on.
Four
And then I would have put the running back on a wheel route. Obviously,
I would have ran
I would have rolled out to
a
my
play
right,
action read.
pump
yeah.
faked once, tossed it over the top, sideline tiptoe.
Dude, I love sideline quarterback or what is it, armchair quarterbacking. That's the
I'm
best.
amazing at it.
Yeah.
Why did Patrick Mahomes just throw that pick 6 in the Super Bowl? What a fucking
What a
idiot.
moron.
What a goddamn dumbass. Yeah, can't believe they lost.
Blown out.
Amazing.
Demolished.
I honestly think
Fly birds.
I think that if the Chiefs had won, the world probably ends in the next 50 years.
For sure.
I think since the Eagles won, which by the way, one of the worst fan bases. I hate
Maniacs.
Philly. They suck so
No,
bad.
I love it.
I love it, but I mean, I'm from New Jersey, so it's like
So you got to be a hater.
I went to a Flyers game against the Devils, and the Devils goaltender Keith Kincaid got injured, and every Flyers fan was like cheering at this guy just like getting a horrible injury.
They're famously brutal.
I also like we scored a goal and we were down 3-1, and I stood up and I cheered, and a guy behind me said, "Sit the fuck down," and I was like, "Okay,
Get out of
I'm
here.
gonna do that now."
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but it's like I think we have a chance as humanity.
Yeah, I think so. The city of brotherly love. I
Mhm.
mean, Boys to Men's from there, so that's great.
Yeah, Bill Burr's famous rant.
Oh, that's true. He'd like shit all over the city or something.
He talked about how they had a fucking statue of a fictitious character.
Oh, yeah.
He's
That
like,
is
your number one
so
idol
true.
is not real.
Yeah. Philly's a cool city though. I
It
liked
is.
it there. Yeah.
It's extremely trashy, but it's like
yeah.
they're like very aware of their trashiness.
I lived in Pittsburgh for a year, and I thought there would be like Pittsburgh Philly rivalry, and they don't talk. They don't even care.
Pittsburgh's so irrelevant. One of my best friends lives in Pittsburgh, dude. It's like nobody gives a fuck about you guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Pittsburgh has one of the gnarliest accents I've ever heard. In
yeah,
my
they
life.
do say stuff weird.
Yeah, is it? Pretty much everyone says downtown would be like downtown. O is like an AH sound, but every once in a while you'll
It's like
run
the
into
Midwestern.
somebody who like just has a bananas accent.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, go down, catch a Steelers game. Hang out
Steelers.
there. Cross the Allegheny over there. Have a couple irons. Watch the Steelers play. Like, you're not from this planet.
No, you're not.
There's no
You're
way that's real.
consciously trying to keep
yeah,
this.
you're trying to do. You're acting weird right now.
That's the number one thing
It is a cool city.
when I tell people I'm from New Jersey. They go, "You don't have an accent,"
Do New Jersey is that bad?
because they think I'm gonna be like Jersey
From
Shore,
the Jersey Shore, yeah.
Jersey, New Jersey.
Jersey.
No one talks like
Jersey.
that.
Yeah.
No one. And when you meet people that are like super like
How much do people hate that show
Guido,
in New Jersey?
I mean everybody hates it.
Yeah.
It's
But
stupid.
how much do people love Sopranos?
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah,
It's the greatest
it's
show
the
ever
best show of
made.
all
What do
time.
you mean?
Obviously,
It's the
goated.
perfect representation.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, even Sopranos. Like when I tell people I'm from New Jersey, they like imagine I'm from like Sopranos, New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's like no, I'm from like rural. I'm
Right.
from the Garden
The Garden
State.
State.
I'm from like Pussy, New Jersey. Like I'm not tough.
Yeah.
I'm not like gang affiliate. My friend is, and he's gonna listen to this, and his dad is.
Yeah.
It's a sore subject.
We all know
we
a
don't talk
guy,
about.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
gonna get us flamethrowers to do his dirty business, but
Okay.
yeah, and he has a glass eye, and he only operates in cash.
That's sick.
They're in construction and waste management, and I watch them make wood fire pizza in front of me.
What?
And smoking stogies at their beach house that they constructed. Yeah, this is all real. Shout out Michael Pavsic, full name.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Is that Pavsic?
Croatian. We were walking.
That's even crazier.
It is. We were walking.
That is the
into
craziest part of the
And let's
story.
wrap this up in like 5 minutes. But
Yeah.
we were walking into Pennington Quality Market, our
Okay.
local grocery store. Me and my friend Pav, we call him Pav, and a lady behind us goes, "Baba Cheech." She sounded like Borat. She goes, because he had like a jersey and his name was on the back. She goes, "Baba Cheech," and we turn around and she's like, "You're from Croatia?" And he goes, "Yeah, you know, it's like my family name."
Yeah.
Like in American, she's like, "Baba Cheech." She just kept saying it, so it's like a running joke we have. But it was crazy to just walk into a store with my friend and just have a crazy Balkan lady be
I
like,
tell
"Baba
ya,
Cheech."
That is like the coolest thing about America, though, is that there's people from all over the
It's
planet.
a
That is
melting
like,
pot.
but that is the most baller thing about America for
It is.
sure.
It is cool.
Because like I imagine you live in China, you see 99.99% Chinese people in your life.
It's the great Daniel Tosh joke
What's he got?
where he's like, people shit on America. We're the only country with any diversity. You look at the Olympics.
Dude, so
he's
true.
like, you look at the
So
Olympics.
true.
You look at the American squad. We have a black girl, an Asian girl, a white girl. You look at the Chinese gymnastics squad.
Yep.
Let me guess, exclusively Chinese bitches. He's like, yeah, that's all that ever will be on that team. That's all
Yes.
that ever is on that team.
No.
And he is right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's coming to town.
25th June.
Oh. Wanna
Chicago
go?
Theater. Yes.
All right.
$45 a pop.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it'd be more.
Reasonable.
Quite.
The great guy.
Hell yeah.
Dude, today
Just see what he's about.
in my intro to climbing class, these two people were late, and it was just awkward between me and four other people.
Yep.
And I was like, "Does anybody here has anybody seen a ghost before?" Because it's just good for starting
Valid question.
conversation. And then after my entire class, this one guy in my class was like, "Do you always ask that question?" And I was like, "It's like a good go-to when it's awkward to be an icebreaker." And he was like,
sure.
"Oh, that's what Daniel Taj always asks." That's on his podcast. That's the first question he always asks every guest. Do you believe in
Oh,
ghosts?
really?
Yeah. And every time that they say yes, he's like, "God, you're stupid." It's so funny.
You ever seen a ghost?
No.
Yeah, no. Me
Have
neither.
you?
I don't believe that there are ghosts.
I don't believe in them until it's late at night and I'm spooked in my bed, and then I'm like, "Please don't be real. Please don't be real. Please don't be real. I'm sorry for what I said."
It's your dad coming to dump water on you.
Oh my God, dude! My dad would be such a gay ghost.
Ghost dad ice bucket
Dude.
challenging you.
If I saw you in heaven.
Dude. Yeah.
You
You
know
ever
what's
hear that
crazy?
Jesselnick joke about that?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it's literally the
Keaton
best
told
joke.
me to like
the
literally
best fucking
yesterday
joke.
about it.
Yeah.
One of what's crazy is I learned. Was it this morning? Yeah, literally this morning. Keaton calls me. So I've been trying to learn guitar, and a song that I want to learn is "Tears in Heaven"
Yeah.
by Eric Clapton, and I saw a video of him playing it for the first time on some like live TV show, and he plays it and it's like beautiful and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's amazing." I look at the description and all the comments, and it's about his 4-year-old falling out of the
Right.
window and everything. And so then Keaton texts me and he's like, "Can I run some roast jokes by you? Can I call you?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. But I'll call you in 5 minutes. I'm watching Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton." Like I said it to sort of be funny, but
Yeah.
I was like, I am watching Tears in Heaven. And then Keaton says, "What's the difference between a 4-year-old and a bag of cocaine?" Eric Clapton would never let a bag of cocaine fall out of a window.
Jesus Christ.
And dude, so then he calls me and I'm talking. I was like, first of all, I can't believe you said that to me.
Yeah.
Second of all, the amount of serendipity. Like, I found out the reference that you just said to me 2 minutes before you fucking
You
said
were
it
right.
to me.
Yeah.
And then he brought up the Jesselnick joke.
Yeah.
And then
which is goated
tonight you
joke.
brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. About that. Doesn't he say like that fucking shitty song?
Yeah.
It's
dude.
so fucked up.
I kind of ripped that joke off one time. I got a good one. Check it out.
I've ripped off a Jesselnick intro
Oh.
before.
I mean, he's the man.
He is the man.
But,
Kanye even agrees.
He does.
Yeah.
My joke is that I want to do comedy because I want to be famous,
Uh-huh.
and I want to be so famous. I want to be like Seinfeld level famous. I want to be so famous that I too can date a high school junior.
Yeah. That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah, for sure. You get away with that? Come on.
We'll end on this, but Mark Norman was telling a story about how I think it was like at the Stand or something. They were doing a impersonation night where everybody does an impersonation of other famous comics.
Yeah.
And this one comic went up and he's like, "This is my Seinfeld impersonation." He goes, "What's the deal with math homework? I mean, come on, my girlfriend keeps bringing it home." Isn't that so good, dude?
That's
Yeah,
that's super good.
it's
I
so
wouldn't worry
baller.
about doing that shit though. I guess if you don't give a shit about if Seinfeld thinks you're cool, but
yeah, dude.
I
Seinfeld
would be
would.
like, he could ruin me if he felt like it.
He's
I don't
one
know
of
if
those
he's that kind of
people
guy.
where it's like I just know he'll never like me. I mean, there are a lot of people like that where it's like you're so cool that
Most of them are here in Chicago. They
I completely agree, dude. If you ever met me or made eye contact with me, you'd be like, this guy sucks.
Get
I have so many
fucked.
professional athletes that I want to be friends with
Yeah?
when comedy goes really well.
Yeah, no.
And it's just
It'll pop
crushing
off.
to know that they're going to be like, yeah, I don't even think you're funny. Like, I don't like anything that you do.
Yeah, you don't really have jokes as much as
No.
just
Honestly,
be
I'll
an
just like
asshole.
look at the jokes I've done and like post it on Instagram and be like, I honestly can't imagine like stumbling upon my Instagram and like liking me in everything I put out. I'm just like, the day I put it out, I'm like, yeah, this is good. And then like a week later, I'm like, I think I suck at everything.
Yeah, to go
I
back
think
in
everything
time
I've ever done just sucks.
and look at the posts, I'm like, why did I ever think that was
Yeah.
cool or funny? I
Yeah.
don't know. It's fucked.
Anyway, we should get out of my climbing gym.
Yeah, no, this has been fantastic.
Yeah.
It's late.
Can't believe I forgot the SD card and we had to go home
That
and
was
get that.
brutal.
That was
yeah.
really stupid.
And your roommate was in his room
He was probably jerking
doing
off.
God knows what. Yeah, he could be masturbating.
I woke up to him.
He could
and
still be
I
masturbating.
woke up to him and his girl. Probably, yeah. Light some candles.
Yeah.
I woke up to him and his girlfriend having sex this morning,
Oh no!
and I just was like, God, I'm so alone.
Holy shit!
It's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's fucked up is they woke me up having sex at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm gonna go to
It's not
back to
bad,
bed,
okay.
and then they woke me up again at noon, having sex again, and I was like, this is a sign that I should get out of bed. My life is so bad, but
Yeah,
like
they,
I should
got
get
up,
out of bed.
got something to eat.
Yeah,
And they're like, let's fuck again.
they're like, let's wake him up again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. Do you have any closing remarks?
I don't know.
There's nothing I need to edit out of this, right? I can just
Yeah, no, it's probably straight.
pop it straight up.
I'm sending it straight to that girl that took me to that wedding. where-
Please do.
where
What's
I
her full
blacked
name?
out. I'm not. She would never. No, she. We don't associate. That's fine.
She's so beautiful though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I almost said something that would make me have to edit this, but I'm not going to do that. So, all right. Good night, everybody.
Okay.
All right. Let's get the.